Hi, friends. Welcome in the firm of Harris and Meringue on this wonderful Monday. Patrick Harris, yours truly, with you. To my left, Danny Meringue. That's Jeffrey Rust over there on the ones and twos
and
behind the
to my
glass.
left, a TV giving you a stroke.
Yeah, what is going on?
I don't know.
Well, I hope she's not dead.
I'm going to blame Sprig.
I hope she's not dead. I need that TV. Trying to watch some Olympics.
Looks like I'm going to have to give you play-by-play.
What else?
Sleep!
What else am I going to watch right now?
The good
We
stuff.
got curling.
We do.
Curling's great, dude.
Live curling.
I watched a bunch of curling this weekend.
I'm very much pro curling. Very much pro curling. It's
Let's
fun.
see.
It's a fun little sport.
I watched curling this weekend. I caught some ice skating.
Wow, that guy, he just came in like a wrecking ball.
I watched some ice skating this weekend, although not my favorite.
I watched Lindsey Vaughn absolutely bite it.
Dude, that sucks, man. She broke her leg.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
Turns out hurdling down a mountain without an ACL
it's a bad idea.
sucks. I mean, look, I mean,
She did just fine on her training runs.
yeah. Just that's the crazy thing about the skiing is that it's like millimeters. It's like a millimeter because you're going a billion miles an hour down a hill. It's like, yeah, you catch an edge ever so slightly and you touch a gate and you get thrown off balance or this, that, or the other. It's like, and you're dead.
Yeah, I watched this guy do the downhill, and there were a couple of moments where it's like, I mean, like G's are coming at you, and you're making that turn, and he almost lost it and like stabbed his pole down and corrected himself, and then won gold. It's like, dude, that's so baller.
Yeah, no, it's I vacillate between that and ski jump and the whole like, do you want to die? Do this sport.
I don't want to ski jump. It's too much.
The other one that's crazy is the what do you call it? The moguls. Like
that looks like a torn ACL every
Right?
time I watch it.
Oh, every time it looks like it just hurts. Every single.
So I went
mogul.
down that once. I blew both my ACLs and an Achilles.
like those people's quads just have to be enormous, right? To like
Yeah,
just
like the
swap.
size of my thighs, probably.
You know what I mean? Like they're just it's absolutely nuts. And like, of course, my knees are completely shot. I'm just sitting here thinking, how do you do this? How do you practice this and not have your legs explode? Like, do either of you know like how many times you have to switch?
That's the other thing. Like, I don't know how you practice a lot of these sports. Like the big air.
Without like getting blown up?
Yeah, like big air. Like, how do you practice that? And how do you decide one day that I'm going to do that? My wife said over the weekend, she goes, our kids will not be Olympic athletes.
I mean, you start
Get a
out.
real job, losers.
You start out jumping in like the foam pits and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I guess water.
You know? But yeah, and that's it's not called big air for no reason.
Yeah, the conversation with the wife started because I was watching men's big air, and the podium was two Japanese kids and Chinese kid was third, and then the American was fourth. And I guess last Olympic, the Chinese guy won gold, but it was the first time Japan's ever won gold in big air. And they were talking about the American kid, and the two Japanese and Chinese guy are like 5'8", 5'7", kind of a little bit taller than me. But the American kid is over 6 foot, so they're talking about how like his impact is bigger, blah, blah, blah. They cut to his family. They were like, and live, here is his family's watch party. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like grandma's there and everybody's getting together. Guess where the watch party is? It's from his hometown of Vail, Colorado.
Oh,
and I was like,
shocking.
oh, wow.
Oh, weird.
Oh, weird. Rich white boy in the Olympics. Got it.
I was able to, through the mighty
That's when my wife says, get a real job.
the mighty force of the Googles, there are over 40 distinct rows of moguls in this Olympic run.
40 distinct rows.
Yeah. 40 rows.
Ugh.
Just think of that. So you're switching 20 times?
Pass.
That's the average structure is set apart 3.5 meters. And I would imagine you're hitting that going probably what? 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour?
I'm also confused as to how that became an event.
Like how do you go like
Let's shred people's knees and see who's fastest.
so like half pipe's a really good one. So if I remember right, Mount Hood Meadows was where they originally designed the machine, the plow kind of deal that shapes half pipes. It was on Mount Hood. I remember one of the guys at Wendell's telling me this when I was in high school. Again, this could just be lore and somebody talking out their butt, but that's what I'm going with. But there's a particular company that developed the technology to shape the half pipe perfectly.
Okay.
So it has this perfect gouge shovel, whatever you want to call it thing. And that thing, gives you the consistency. Before that, what you got and what you looked at and all the different things that kind of come with that, it could change from place to place. But you got this consistency of I think it's an 18-foot wall, if I remember right.
Okay.
And it has this, pitch, this degree, all those kind of things. Moguls, if you're talking about in the OG days when you had wooden skis, so guys are going out there with snow
Snapping
shovels. Well, I know that, but I'm they're going out there with shovels and buckets of water to shape them.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
How do you get the consistency? You out there with a tape measure, or you just pacing it off down the hill?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's somebody was making the joke about two-man luge.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had to be I bet you should sit in his lap, bro.
Yeah.
See how that goes. It's well, actually, that is a good idea. Let's doubles.
Let's try that.
Yeah. Also, who decided to get on skates and go down a giant tunnel as fast as humanly possible? And then someone goes, losers, I'm going to go head first.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that in water parks. When somebody's you can't go down head first, you just switch around the second you get in the tunnel.
Am I the only one that noticed during the men's, the single luge competition this weekend? Did they all look a bit tubby?
What?
There were some jiggles going on there.
For who?
The men's luge.
Well, you probably need to have some mass.
It's probably more about aerodynamics
They
than
did not
anything.
look like the most fit people in the world.
We
Meanwhile,
got men's curling over here. Those
Yeah.
dudes look like us.
Well, but the men's curling, they're just, they're not rocketing down an ice tube at 78 miles an hour.
yeah,
There are no tubby big air snowboarders.
no.
You're not tubby in a half pipe.
They're all tiny.
Mhm.
Especially the Japanese, man. If you look at them, they're all 5'2", a $105, and they just
Antoine Walker's
throw
not out
it.
there doing ice skating.
It was all these guys, they should have been.
Poor
they sh-
Antoine.
all these guys should have been right down at the south end of I-5 because you get more wiggles at jiggles.
Yeah, right. Oof, that's R.I.P.
I'm being told that moguls are naturally developed. If you don't groom a run, then that's what they did back in those days. So it's like an untidy run.
I guess if you're just switching it,
I
but
don't-
you'd
I
have
guess
to
maybe that's
really,
how it originated, but I have a hard time buying that.
you'd have to really do it. You have to really dig in.
Someone
and
decided
switch it.
this course sucks. Let's see how good you do on that.
Let's go ahead and switch it up. And
Yeah.
start
a bunch of bumps in here instead.
banging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I gotta say,
Did you
text
see
line.
Happy Gilmore too? When the putting green is rotating.
Yeah.
Why not? We gotta try this
Get
out,
weird. Text line made me chuckle. Isn't the biathlon essentially just the Norwegian drive-by?
dude. It's so crazy, man. They're running it. They're skiing, as fast as humanly possible, and then they sit down and go and pull a trigger.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is they develop the ability to drive their heart rate down.
It's crazy.
Very quickly.
It sounds like drugs.
It's just how do you train for that? And how is somebody you know what we should do? We should fire guns when we're really tired.
Yeah, that's why I don't fire guns.
Don't
dude.
get me wrong.
It's dangerous.
We do that, as in the military, because guess what happens in war? Sometimes you're really tired when you're in war.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was like, you know what? Let's do that on a mountain. I love thinking about the genesis of these sports, like curling. Were you just tired of ice fishing?
Yeah. I mean, it's isn't it Icelandic or Nordic of some sort?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Throwing
it's not.
stones.
I guess it's not that hard to think about because shuffleboard. You
Yeah.
sometimes you live in a place that you can't really do anything.
Or bocce ball. You
Yeah.
know, if you got ice, you can't be throwing it on the ice because it'll just break through.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I saw a post earlier this weekend that was the Winter Olympics have never been held in a southern hemisphere country. If they did, which one would it be? And I was like, none.
Yeah, that's the point, dog.
Well, no, you could get yourself down into southern Argentina, Chile.
I mean, I guess they truck snow in anyway these days.
Yeah, but I mean, still,
Look out for the Summer Olympics in Alaska.
right?
That is actually a possibility.
I mean, that makes it kind of dope because you have 24 hours of sunlight.
Oh, just Olympics all day, every day.
Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Keep going. We'll get Hillary Swank up here and Al Pacino and Robin Williams. Rest in peace.
Is Hillary Swank hot?
Yeah.
That came across my timeline again.
Mm-hmm.
The old Office joke.
I think so.
There's a whole episode about whether or not Hillary Swank is hot.
I don't
I
remember
don't,
that.
I don't feel
It's
like
great.
I don't feel like you can be a longtime Hollywood actress and not have that, right?
When she was the next Karate Kid, was she not?
I don't know.
Was she?
Yeah.
Oh, that one just escaped my brain completely.
I don't know if I've seen the Karate Kid movies. I think I've seen the first one.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like
Wax on, wax off.
that's it?
I think I've seen the first one, yeah.
But not number 2.
I don't think so.
Really?
You should have seen number 2. It's excusable if you have not seen 3.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I've
2 you
seen-
should have seen.
I've seen all Three Ninjas, though.
There's 3 of them?
Yeah. Rocky loves Emily.
Not the same.
Yeah.
I know they're not, but I've seen those.
I don't think
Really?
I've seen
I
any
think
of
I've
the
always
3
seen the first Karate Kid.
I don't think I've seen any of the Three Ninjas
Whoa,
movies.
whoa, 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 whoa.
I'm too old.
No, you need to see the first one.
I'm too old.
Yeah, the first one's great.
First one's great.
Three Ninjas Kick Back is number 2.
Yeah, that's tough.
Oakley Dokley, we got a great
What
show
year
for you
was
all
this?
today.
1992. So I was 16. Yes, I was a little old for the Three Ninjas.
Nah, nobody's too old for 3 Ninjas.
Oakley Dokley, we got a show for everybody today here. Scoot Henderson for the next 3 hours. You ready, Danny?
Let's do it.
We'll get to Scoot
He played-
returns.
he played good
Nothing
enough
else
to talk
happened
about.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he played good enough to talk about it.
Scoot returns, but at the expense of another player. We'll have Web Gems as well, but we will spend majority of the day on the Super Bowl as the Seattle Seahawks take down the New England Patriots and win their second Super Bowl in franchise history. And we'll just basically, plain and simple, we'll start there. Portland Sports Leader, 105.1 The Fan. 10:16 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live
Yo.
in the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day. Shout out over on the YouTubes as well. 105.1 The Fan is the channel. Come join the chat. We're always goofing off over there. And speaking of goofing off, we're done, guys. Ready to take this show very seriously now.
Sports.
All right?
So hard.
So hard. Well, there was a football game last night.
Holy catfish! Oh, really?
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Seattle Seahawks take down the New England Patriots 29-13. Thank God that football is played for 4 quarters because the fourth quarter really bailed us out in that one. Not that the game was ever going to be close necessarily, but things got a little more exciting. Did they not?
Did they?
Yeah, I think so.
Did they?
I mean, dude, the score
Touch.
the score is 12-0. The score of the fourth quarter is 17-13.
I guess.
That's a lot better of a game. We were sitting here to the point where we thought we could be watching a Super Bowl with A, a shutout, and B, no touchdowns.
That's fair. I guess, Seattle still grew their lead.
Oh, totally.
I guess it was more exciting in the sense of points were scored, but
Well, this is how it kind of was. I think the easy conversation today is that game was super boring.
I mean, it was.
It was. I'm not saying that, but I think there are just different levels of boring that you can get into. For example, the Super Bowl last year was not a fun watch.
No.
However, there's a giant bomb to Devonta Smith. There's offense being scored. So even though the Eagles blew out the Chiefs, you still saw big plays, which I think people decide doesn't make it boring, even though the Super Bowl is really bad. It was not a good game last year.
No.
This is just not a good game for different reasons.
I don't think it wasn't necessarily a good game in the sense of like the lack of big plays, whatever. I think you just saw what we talked about on Friday going into the game. One team was good in the Patriots. The other team was really good in the Seahawks, and they showed that the entire game.
Yeah, you kind of said it to me when you got in this morning. Like, is that the most on-script Super Bowl you've seen in a while? Yeah, maybe.
It went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Drake May had issues. Will Campbell got lit up. Their defense played solid.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold made no mistakes. They ran the football.
And their defense was
amazing.
just absolutely just
game over.
I mean, Drake May is still running for his life.
I did enjoy it because, as we kind of said on Friday, and I hammered this, and I still believe it, it was really cagey in the first half. It was trying to figure out what can you do, what can you not do, stuff like that. Look, there was no real crazy play calling. We'll get to coaches here in a little bit too, but everybody was just kind of like we just said, stick to the game plan. If we do what we think is correct, we are going to win this game. And Seattle did that, and they executed.
The opportunities for Seattle were numerous in the first half. And it wasn't, I don't think, anything the Patriots did or didn't do in the sense of like, oh, they were like the scramble play from Darnold where he shakes free from the sack and he's got JSN releasing. If he just has a beat, not even a half second, just one more beat to like kind of set his foot so he can put a little bit more air into the ball, JSN's gone for 60 yards and a touchdown. And the game at that point like feels like it's over. And it was just like, all right.
And when JSN went out of the game, that offense got real stagnant.
Yeah.
It was tough. I was really bummed about that because he was my player I wanted to watch. I think he was a lot of people's player they wanted to watch. Side note, how many times did he fail the concussion test in the locker room before he passed it?
Yeah. It's like you know
you're not out for 2 quarters and then all of a sudden your concussion is cleared.
You got the multiple choice test, and you once you finish it, you have to turn it in. So you just like you get to the very last question, and you're like, nah, and you erase it all over again. You know what I mean? Like that's
how
one of those
many
things.
one fingers am I holding up?
C.
Yeah.
How many one fingers am I holding up? Do I need to repeat the question? How many one fingers am I holding up?
2.
The letter M.
Yeah.
No. So that was kind of strange to me, but I'm glad that he came back in. The story of the Super Bowl, honestly, and we'll get into some special team stuff later, et cetera, in the defense. Kenneth Walker III was great. And if you want to know how to rush the football, in a dominant way without being Adrian Peterson flashy, go watch the patience he had behind the offensive line. There were times where he literally got the ball and felt like he stopped.
Almost stopped.
Dead spot.
Wait
and
for
then
the hole to
looked,
open up.
saw it and was like, I'm going there. I've always thought Kenneth Walker was a pretty good running back. He was real flashy at Michigan State. He kind of was a clinic on how to run a football in a time-controlled way.
So what's interesting about it is I was reading Bill Barnwell, and he was talking about how Walker's EPA, his expected points added, was actually quite low. Because
at the end of the game?
yes, and it was because so many of his runs were short.
Mm-hmm.
But he compared him to another Michigan State guy, Le'Veon Bell. His ability
I was doing that on Friday.
his ability to break the big play. What do you have? I think it was 5 carries of 10 yards or more. Like just big, like back-breaking plays, 29-yarder, 30-yarder. He had the one that, ended up being called back late in the game. That was
the big one.
50-yarder. It's like he had big play after big play after big play after big play. But outside of that, he wasn't able to really generate anything. The Patriots did a really good job of taking away the zone run and looking at kind of how they were able to build around that. The Patriots ended up going like out of a bear defense into like a 6-1, and the Seahawks had a response for it. They went with the pull pin, getting to the sweep, getting to the edges because you've got so many guys up front, and they relied on Walker's patience to hit those plays on the edge and to really stretch them out and get him one-on-one on the outside with a linebacker or a safety to either make a guy miss or, drag out a little bit further and just let his speed take over. Walker was great, and I don't have any issue per se with him winning the MVP, but it was on the other side of the ball where the best player of that Super Bowl lived.
Yeah, and we'll get to that in a second. I think an unsung hero before we get to the Seahawks defense, which is the hero of the game, I think something that will be lost in this Super Bowl years down the line is that people will not realize how good New England's defense played.
It was really
I
good.
thought their defense played really, really well. Sam was great. We'll get to quarterback play throughout the day, etc. Sam's play was really, really good.
Considering how much he got hit and how many times he got sped up to not make a mistake.
Exactly.
Because Drake made 3 of them. But, no, I mean, we talked about Christian Gonzalez going into
had
the
a great game.
He did. Sam bailed him out on one. He should have had the touchdown. He threw it behind. Was that JSN they threw it behind?
Mm-hmm.
He threw it behind on that one and let Gonzalez make the play. But I'm not taking away from Gonzalez. He made the play. But Sam throws that ball where it needs to go, and it's an easy 6.
Easy.
But, you kind of go up and down the roster for the Patriots defensively. You're like, they gave up 29 points. Like, yeah, their offense didn't let them off the field, dog. And they didn't. Here's where, you get a step further. Patriots special teams did a good job in the sense of, like, keeping them from having positive field position. Like, how many times did you look?
Shaheed was MIA.
Well, I don't think it was just that. I think their coverage was great on their punts. Like, they did how many times did you look down and see the Seahawks inside their own 20 taking over? And it was
A lot. Almost as much as, the unsung hero in Michael Dixon, what he did to the Patriots too. I think there's a lot of things the Patriots did well.
Yes.
That will not go noticed because of, honestly, the bad play of Drake May and that offensive line. But let's switch over. You mentioned it. The Seahawks defense, they're the winner of this game. They were so good, top to bottom, all across the board. Leonard Williams had a good game. Lawrence was not as effective as I thought he would be. I thought he would be a little more involved, but definite team effort. And to your point, Witherspoon, absolutely phenomenal.
Witherspoon was my MVP. It wasn't just he had the one that he should have been credited with the sack, but it turns into basically a strip sack that turns into a pick for Nwosu. But the first pressure that he brought, McDonald brought on that 3rd and 9, Witherspoon just comes flying off the edge and you can see him just crapped his pants. He did not expect Witherspoon there.
I didn't expect Witherspoon there. I thought they disguised him and made him so much more effective than I'd ever seen him. I'm used to him in coverage. And I know he does come up at times, and he's been maybe the
I
MVP
think
of
the
that
number
defense.
was 33 times he's blitzed this year, but for the last couple weeks they kept it in their pocket.
Totally.
They kept it in their
And
pocket and
waited.
they sprung it. If I remember,
Well, you have to imagine the Niners and the Rams know that's in
Yeah.
there. So they're like, okay, well, they know we do that, so let's not do it with them. The Patriots might not know that.
the Seahawks are one of the lowest blitz rates in the entire NFL. But what was interesting is
That means your defense is really good.
yeah, they bend don't break. They just don't want they don't want to. I like a more aggressive defense, but it's neither here nor there. But what was interesting was the Seahawks brought all of their pressure in the first half. Their blitz rate was like something like 34% in the first half, 8% in the second half. They brought all of the heat early, and that's where Witherspoon was there all the time.
They set the tone right at the beginning, and you want to talk about ghosts.
That's the thing is they got Drake seeing ghosts, and then one of the few blitzes that they brought Witherspoon in the second half leads to the pick that turns into the pick six, and you're like, yeah, there you go, pack it up,
Yeah.
see you later, bye.
A fantastic performance from the Seattle Seahawks. I heard a stat this morning on Dirt and Sprague, the Sunrise guys. Dirt brought it up. Their Seahawks total losses this year by a combined 9 points in the regular season, or all season long. Is that no? It's regular season. Their 3 losses in the regular season were by 9 points.
Well, yeah, it would have to be regular season because if they had lost in the playoffs, they wouldn't have made it to the Super Bowl.
And these 13 points that the Patriots got are basically garbage time.
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle's defense was so awesome all day that they got to a point where New England they were able to just say, hey, we're good. Like, you guys, cute, march down the field. Tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick, tick, tick.
Go ahead and take your
Because
time.
if you give us the ball, we're just going to run it for 3 plays, make you use your timeouts, and then we'll punt it and put you within your 10. And good luck with that. Because
because you haven't done anything all game.
there was that moment in the third quarter going into the fourth quarter where they had 3 and out, like 6 of their 7 possessions in a row.
And that's tough. I mean, not only from a field position standpoint, but like what you're asking your defense to do over and over and over again. And to the Patriots' defensive credit, they held on till the very end.
It was just it's too much. How can I be on the sideline for 3 plays and a punt, and I got to go back out there? Let's get into some coaching decisions. The experienced group was not the experienced group, if that makes sense. We'll slide into that next, but first we'll toss to the Kahuna with sports.
I hear they got some tasty burgers.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a team of attorneys into whom you can place your trust. Call Reynolds Defense Firm today, online at reynoldsdefensefirm.com. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers back on the court after snapping their 6-game skid with back-to-back wins over the Grizzlies. Scoot Henderson sat out Saturday's game after making his season debut on Friday. He scored 11 points in 21 minutes. They host the 76ers tonight. Shaden Sharp out with a calf injury. Denny Avdia, Robert Williams III. They are both questionable. Scoot, by the way, is probable for this evening. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. That is Xfinity Channel 302 and 1016. The Blazers are 3.5-point dogs. Got a doubleheader on Peacock this evening. The Giannis-less Bucks, 11.5-point dogs at Palo Banchero and the Magic. That is a 4:30 tip. Then at 7 o'clock, the Thunder still without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as they visit LeBron and the Lakers. No Luka Doncic either. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites in that 7 o'clock tip. And Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports reporting the Chargers hiring former Jets and Dolphins head coach Adam Gase as a passing game coordinator. Gase has been out of the NFL for 5 seasons. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy. He's at warrenallen.com.
The home of Dirt and Sprague. Weekday morning, 6 to 10 a.m. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Continuing our Super Bowl discussion here.
Do you want to talk about what you just said in my ear?
Yeah, dude, I don't understand this song.
This song, it reminds me of from when I was a kid watching Ramblin' Rod.
Okay.
On I think it was KPTV, or I think it was Channel 12, something like that. But this song reminds me of like a bumper from that song. And this song it's like from the 60s.
No, I am not a Ramblin' Rod. I didn't watch any of those kid shows. I watched Mr. Rogers and Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
I don't know how you missed Ramblin' Rod if you watched all that stuff.
No, I wasn't a Ramblin' Rod guy or Captain Kangaroo or...
Well, I mean, Captain Kangaroo's more excusable. Ramblin' Rod is a local treasure.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't move here till I was 11.
Well, okay.
Okay,
so maybe
I
it's
was
that.
Probably, wait, how old are you now?
40.
Okay, 9 years. All right, so I was 20. Oh, my.
I don't know why you do that to yourself.
It's always to yourself.
Yeah. You always do it to yourself.
I
That's
know.
a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
I'm old.
We'll get into some Clint Kubiak discussion here in a moment as he made a statement after the game as well. But looking at this, I found something very fascinating, Danny, that all week as people were trying to, I don't know how to say it without just like being honest, trying to convince themselves the Patriots were going to be good in this game.
Yes.
Were that they had the experienced coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
And
it mattered for naught.
And what I notice is I don't want to sit here and try to say that I thought Mike Macdonald and Kubiak were brilliant in this game. I don't think it's that. I think Kubiak kind of looked at stuff and was like, Sam's not really getting it done. Let's run the ball and stick to our game plan. We'll be fine.
I think they were brilliant on the defensive side.
Definitely. But offensively, Kubiak was not some genius yesterday.
I don't
think he had to
be. Yeah.
So I'm not slamming him for it. What's fascinating to me is McDaniels and Vrabel felt like they played scared. It felt like they knew they were up against a tall task, and early on in that game were like, yeah, we can't do this, so let's minimize damage. It never really felt like they put Drake in a position to try and do something, especially as the game started weighing on and they couldn't do anything. There were no adjustments, and the defense played well, but they couldn't get enough to overcompensate. I felt Vrabel and McDaniels were very conservative.
I think there's probably an element to that. Look, we'll never know. I mean, I shouldn't say that because maybe they'll talk about it at some point in time. Highly unlikely. But when you watch the tape as a coach, you just know. There's no hiding what you are or what they are. Mm-hmm. You can talk yourself into some things, but when you watch the Seahawks tape and you go, yeah, there's really not. Where do we attack here? We're gonna attack Reek? We're gonna attack the their front? Like,
yeah.
Who, like, we're gonna even Warrior's ankle's a little sideways, so let's go after it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you aren't looking at that and going, I mean, Diggs was a non-factor.
And Seattle's defense was physical with him, and the referees let it go.
Yeah. It just, you just kind of go up and down. And, did Hollins have every single one of his catches in the fourth quarter?
What's that?
Did Mac Hollins have every single one of his catches in the fourth quarter?
Probably.
I think it was. I know he had 3 in the fourth quarter, right?
I mean, when you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out a lot, it's not a lot of catches being made in general.
Now, there was some, like, I bet you some Patriots fans are like, man, we should have been more aggressive. Look how much better we were when we were aggressive. Well, you were aggressive out of desperation because you couldn't do anything else the rest of the game. And Drake had 2 picks going in, like, you know what I mean? Like, and the fumble. Like, the whole idea of they should have been more aggressive all game long, you couldn't attack it because Drake May was running for his life. How many sacks did they end up with? 6.
Most in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, they had 6 sacks, 2 picks. And how many more quarterback hits do they have on top of that? 11?
But that's kind of the other thing. Like, where's McDaniels to do something to help fix that?
I don't think you can.
I saw a moment where I saw a tight end. I don't know if it was Henry or their other guy. His name escapes me right now. Line up right next to Will Campbell, and I saw that, and I was like, ooh, a little extra protection. Didn't chip or anything. Went out for a route, and then Will Campbell got cooked.
McDonald had him twisted in a knot. If you go back and you watch a lot of those sacks, McDonald was getting very exotic. He was showing that he's bringing 6, dropping. Here's the thing. When you've got DeMarcus Lawrence, when you've got Leonard Williams, like when you've got these dudes.
It helps when the talent's there.
Like Leonard Williams is a 300-pounder, but they don't call him Big Cat because he's slow.
No.
You know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, you're looking for your hot route because you think the blitz is coming from here, but it's actually an overload and a twist. And now Devin Witherspoon is tucking inside, and Leonard Williams is dropping into coverage, and Drake May is already running for his life because he's been running for his life. And so the hot route disappears. He's off platform. The angle that he's used to making that throw is gone because now Leonard Williams' big butt is sitting right there. You're like, oh, so it's like all these things and all the check, and this is where Drake May's youth is probably showing up. He's thinking he's seeing one thing, and they're rolling to something completely different. They're tucking in. They're running stunts on the backside. Like the offensive line, there's multiple. If you look at a lot of those sacks, there's multiple times where neither the guard nor the center are occupied because the check is wrong and they made the wrong read, or Seattle just confused the ever-living crap out of them. And part of that's going to be on the center, part of that's going to be on the quarterback. But McDonald did a masterful job game planning and setting them up for what they wanted to do and when and where and how they dictated it, because Drake May looked like New York Jets Sam Darnold.
The Patriots ran 67 plays in this game. 43 of them, Drake May was pressured. At some point, you have to try something. It's the last game of the year. If you want to chalk this up in week 10, week 12, week 2, as like, we don't have it today, let's check the tape and let's look at it. But the fact that pressure and what you were, to McDonald's credit, of doing amazing stuff on the defense, you basically let him continue to try things because you were refusing to do anything to stop it.
I don't think they could. I think that Seattle front.
I guess I'm just not used to seeing that in a game in a Super Bowl, where a coach is just like, look, we can't do anything, so I'm not going to try.
I mean, we saw it with the Seattle team 13 years ago against Denver. Like, they killed Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
They killed him. And there was nothing they could do. That's the thing is, if you just aren't good, and I don't want to sit here and I do. I want to kick the Patriots when they're down, but it wasn't just that, I don't look at this as like this was coaching. I look at this and go, they just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
How did the Patriots get here?
A decimated offensive line with Justin Herbert, C.J. Stroud's 15 turnovers, and Jared Stidham, backup quarterback in a blizzard. We'll get to quarterbacks in a minute, and I know a lot of people are trying to stick up for Drake May. I'm not going to be one of them.
Well, I mean, his offensive line sucked, but he wasn't good either.
Exactly. And I think to see as we get into Kubiak here in a minute, to see Kubiak kind of sit there and go, look, we're not getting a lot, but let's just stay the course. And
nothing happened that made him adjust.
And that being a smarter move than McDaniels was surprising to me. Again, I'm going to keep hammering this. As the text line points out, why didn't they at least try to bring in tight end sets? That's what I mean. Yeah. Like anything.
Go
Have
21 personnel,
Drake May boot out to the right and just get away from the left side. There was a moment when Drake is looking over his shoulder.
Oh, he saw
at the left side.
He saw ghosts.
And he has to look because he now can't trust his. So when you see that, adjustments have to be made. You can't just say, oh, we got nothing to do and it's the Super Bowl, so I guess we'll just get worked. Disappointing performance. And every time I saw the camera go to Mike Vrabel, he looked like you said, to your point, we lost. And he looked like that
man on man,
of the game.
Dude to a dude, you didn't have the dudes.
Yeah.
That's what it came down to.
And I think he knew that, dare I say, going into the game.
I think they did, which is why you go with the minimalist approach to try to limit the self-inflicted wounds.
This texter, problem was Pats couldn't throw short, mid, or long, and they couldn't run. It's going to make your offense a tough day.
Yeah.
A tough day.
So why not take some big shots?
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's running for his life.
When we come back, let's talk a little Clint Kubiak and how that offense performed and the statement he made after the game. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up in hour number deuce, let's get into some of that quarterback play. Sam Darnold, Drake May. Also, we'll get into some Blazers action. Scoot return, Shaden's out, and Web Gems. A friendly face joins the cool kids for All-Star Weekend. It's called The Big One. The Pacific Northwest Sportsman Show, presented by Loophole, returns to the Portland Expo Center this Wednesday, February 11th through Sunday the 15th at the Portland Expo Center. Enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets right now at 1051thefan.com. Clint Kubiak, the Super Bowl champion offensive coordinator of your Seattle Seahawks, Danny, decided that he is going to be now your head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Sure, why not?
As he confirmed at the end of the game. And this was rumors going around last week. We all kind of saw that coming. Everybody knew, expected it to be announced. And I love how nonchalant he was like, oh, yeah, I'm the Raiders head coach. Everybody's like, we know that. He's like, I know. That's why I didn't think it was a big deal. Yeah. When you watch him, what he did this year with Sam Darnold, not just in the regular season, but also in the playoffs, I'm so glad it's you right now because you are a Raider fan and you are a Mendoza-ish guy.
Sure.
He's got to be in love with Mendoza, or is it just time to take a job?
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's yes. Look, if the Raiders, after watching Mendoza through the college football playoff, I am convinced enough to be like, if you take him, I'm not gonna be pissed. You know what I mean? This isn't oh God, we're really reaching here. This is like, do I think he's Aaron Rodgers 2.0? No. Do I think he could be very good? Yeah, because what we saw was incredible. Mm-hmm. Now there's the pushback of like, you don't draft the offense, you draft the quarterback. And Mendoza was incredibly accurate. His decision-making was great. Like, those are the things that I like. But
I love his decision-making.
But, the physical tools, we're not looking at the greatest physical tools we've ever seen. This isn't Chad Pennington, though, either, where it's like his brain is so advanced, but his arm is one of the worst you've ever seen. Like, it's not one of those.
Maybe more of a Kirkers kind of situation.
Which, again, Kirk Cousins, before his Achilles goes, was a really good, really productive quarterback.
Kirk Cousins' all-time earnings is like $400 million.
Yeah, because he was really good, and he knew how to leverage a team.
He's doing just fine. He might be the new quarterback in Minnesota.
Look, don't feel bad for Kirk Cousins.
No. Forgot I'm going to put that on our list for this week.
Come on back. But the other option is, maybe they're a Malik Willis team.
Yeah.
And
maybe they're a stopgap for Mendoza to sit for a minute.
Or no, what if somebody really loves Mendoza? And you it's not like you don't have holes in this team. You have holes everywhere. You've got Max Crosby, you've got Brock Bowers, you've got Ashton Genty. Outside of that, I like Colton Miller, I like JPJ. Like they're above average starters. But beyond those 5 guys, anyone on this roster can go.
Yeah, and I think
take the draft capital and maybe roll with Geno for another year.
Sure.
Or, go,
and guess what?
Like I said,
and maybe suck for another year. Then
go
next
sign,
year you've got a top draft pick.
Go sign Malik Willis.
And I think
whatever you want, whatever you want to do.
I like the Kubiak to Vegas thing. I think Kubiak showed this year that he was able to maneuver with Darnold how his team needed it and how the other team approached it. Because as we said in this game, New England's defense was pretty good.
They finally broke in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's why you had a field goal fest, is because every time Seattle got near the red zone, New England stiffened up, man.
But Clint Kubiak, to his defense, boy, he just stuck with it. He was like, we're going to run the football. Kenneth Walker III had 27 carries. No S, he had 130 rushing yards. They pounded that rock, and there were a couple times, especially a little later in the game, when they realized that field goals might not be enough. Because, dude, at one point it's 12-0, and the Patriots, it's like, if they score a touchdown here,
all of a sudden it's a different game.
It's a one-possession game.
Yeah.
Even when they were up 15, it's a one-possession game if they score a touchdown. So there were moments where Kubiak did try to open it up. I think losing JSN for 2 quarters made things really, really difficult because kind of like Justin Jefferson in Minnesota last year, an average quarterback, I don't mean to dog on Sam that hard, but an average quarterback can still look pretty good when you have weapons of that caliber.
Sure.
And I think one thing that was great about Kubiak is if you look at them against the Rams, who don't have as good of a defense as the Patriots,
They opened it up and Sam carved them up,
Sam
down,
was
left,
a
right, and center.
completely different quarterback. And I think that's what's going to be interesting with Kubiak going forward. If they take Mendoza, if they don't take Mendoza, is how will he be able to take
The week to week?
Can he be a Shanahan and take any type of quarterback and fit them to however they need it? Because that's what he did with Sam all year. I've seen 8 different Sam Darnolds this season.
You've seen game manager Sam Darnold. You've seen nearly 400 yards passing.
I see
Sam
an
Darnold.
all-pro
Yeah.
AP first team.
Yeah.
And I see a turnover monster that's costing you games.
Terrible 4 interception quarterback, Sam Darnold as well.
That you still lost by a missed field goal of over 60 yards.
Full Sam Darnold experience.
Yeah, I think Kubiak should get a lot of credit for the full Sam Darnold experience because, Sam is going to live in the world of one of the lesser quarterbacks to win a Super Bowl. It's just how people are going to look at it, whether it's fair or not.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
If he keeps winning 14 games a season,
Then that will be different.
the narrative
yes.
might change pretty rapidly on Sam.
But I think there's a lot of credit that needs to go to Clint Kubiak in this.
Are we putting Darnold in the Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson package here, or do we think he's a little bit above that?
Danny and I kind of kicked that around before the show started. We think he's better than that. I mean, the talent is there. The talent
There's
is
not a throw that Sam can't make.
Yeah, no, there isn't. There's never been an issue with Sam. It's been sometimes his head, and he's been on bad teams.
He saw ghosts with the Jets because he was running for his life.
Yeah.
And outside of the Minnesota game in the playoffs last year, he's been good in the playoffs.
And I think a lot of that. I think a lot of that has to do with Kubiak.
I hope so.
And I think Kubiak going to Vegas is a big hole for Seattle. We'll look at these teams going forward, what their future looks like in the Big Nooner. But Kubiak gone is a big hole. I mean, this team is built on defense.
This is where Seattle kind of has, or Super Bowl winners. This is the changes you have to deal with. You lose a coordinator here, you lose a player there. Like, how many guys does Seattle keep, and who takes their Super Bowl payday, and who becomes the flip side of that is who wants to leave another team and go chase with them.
Sure.
So there's a balance to that.
I do know with the cap going up next year, the Seahawks are in a really good financial
their books
space.
are in a great space.
They're in a really great spot, but Witherspoon's going to take money. So a lot of these cats are going to.
Well, and K9's a free agent too. So
that's a Super Bowl MVP. You're going to get paid.
It's good leverage.
If we're not going to call Sam Darnold, Brad Johnson, or Trent Dilfer, maybe more like Joe Flacco, Super Bowl winner.
Flacco had an amazing run that year.
I mean, that they win that title because of
Joe Flacco.
I don't think the Seahawks won this title in spite of Sam, though.
No.
He wasn't just there.
He was not happy to be there. No, there was nothing like that.
No.
I think this team across the board has really great talent on defense and has a really good coaching staff. McDonald will get his flowers. What's curious is,
so maybe it is more like Joe Flacco, Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Well, I kind of likened it a little bit to maybe early Tom. Because, early Tom was winning Super Bowls, but they weren't winning Super Bowls because of Tom.
Be careful there.
I know. I'm treading lightly here. I think, and this is kind of the Charlie Weiss, Clint Kubiak sort of round, that Tom's wasn't this amazing, prolific quarterback. Now, in all 3 of those Super Bowls, he did march them down the field to put them in field goal position to win games. But this isn't Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski, Randy Moss, Tom Brady. This was a guy who didn't have crazy numbers, but didn't make mistakes and was able to be smart and calm, composed in the biggest moments. And I think that's where Sam was, and I think a lot of that credit should go to Clint Kubiak. And maybe Michael McDonald, too. I mean, if you can look across the ball, maybe this is Tom looking at Romeo Crennel and Belichick saying, I know my defense is going to bail me out. Sam said it all game after the game. We could have played better on offense, but boy, that defense and special teams is awesome.
That Mike McDonald's pretty good.
And I think when you have a Michael McDonald and you have a Kubiak who's probably saying, hey, man, chill. You're okay. He's like, yeah, but dude, it's only 9-0. Hey, you're chill. It's 9-0 for a reason. It's 12-0 for a reason.
Yeah.
It's 15-0 for a reason.
It's a lot of trust.
You're doing great. And you saw after the game, Sam Darnold walked up to Michael McDonald and said, thanks for believing in me.
Matters.
Let's talk about Sam Darnold. Let's get more into Sam and old Sam, his pantheon, where he ranks, and what his future looks going forward. We'll do that in hour number deuce. This is Portland Sports Leader 105.1, The Fan.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This update brought to you by Multnomah Medical Clinic, a vascular healing clinic for chronic conditions. Stop masking the symptoms and start fixing the problem at multnomahmedical.com. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers back on the court tonight after snapping their 6-game skid with back-to-back wins over the Grizzlies this weekend. Scoot Henderson, he sat out Saturday's game after making his season debut on Friday, scoring 11 points in 21 minutes. Now Portland hosting the 76ers tonight. Shaedon Sharpe out with a calf injury. Denny Avdia, Bob Williams III, they are questionable. Scoot Henderson is probable. It's a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 302 and 1016. The Blazers are 3.5-point underdogs. Got a doubleheader on Peacock this evening. The Giannis-less Bucks, 10.5-point underdogs at Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That's a 4:30 tip. Then at 7 o'clock, the Thunder, still without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as they visit LeBron and the Lakers. No Luka Doncic for LA either. The Thunder are 6.5-point favorites in that 7 o'clock tip. And Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports reporting the Chargers hiring former Jets and Dolphins head coach Adam Gase as a passing game coordinator. Gase has been out of the NFL for 5 seasons. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson. Weekdays 2 to 3. The Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
All right, hour number deuce here. If you're missing the first hour, you can download that, The Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. Check it out on the YouTubes as well, 1051 The Fan. If you missed the Sunrise Guys this morning, or if you're going to miss primetime today, the boys are back, fully in action. You can check that out, the Odyssey app or YouTube, rewind, fast forward, wherever you need, except for in the future. That'd be impossible. This hour, we'll talk some quarterback stuff. We will get into the Blazers, as they had a couple games over the weekend. More importantly, we'll ask the question, what's more exciting, scoop back or shading out, plus web gems as well, as there's a familiar friend of ours attending All-Star Weekend that I don't think any of us saw coming.
Oh.
Kind of just came out of nowhere. So we'll get to that in web gems. And coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll have some kind of fun with non-Super Bowl stuff, halftime commercials, all that stuff. I got a hilarious Jalen Hurts thing to tell you about. I still am thinking about it today. But let's get into this. We spoke a lot about kind of Kubiak and his impression on Sam, and how, and as Rusty mentioned, the full Sam Darnold experience and all that stuff. But Sam Darnold as a quarterback, I think Sam showed a lot in terms of like moxie, and has gotten rid of a lot of that, whether it's fair or not fair, narrative around him.
I mean, he should have.
Sam is a good quarterback.
He's really good.
He's got the most wins of any quarterback in the last 3 years. That's got to say something.
On different teams with different coaches, different coordinators, different systems, different players.
So you can't just argue it's a system
yeah,
thing.
no.
Yeah.
He's good.
And I think there's another thing about quarterbacks in general that we have to remember. I think we get so enamored with Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, that they have some intangibles that are really flippin' exciting. When Lamar starts running, you go, wow. When Josh wants to dump truck someone, wow. Mahomes, scramble, boot out, side sling a pass for 15 yards, get a first down when they're dead in the water, wow. Sam can play in many, many different ways.
What if I said Sam's Eli Manning?
I might tell you Sam's better than Eli Manning.
But
I think we
that's
need to stop.
a very, very good comparison.
I think we need to stop using Eli Manning as a curse word.
well, I'm not saying I'm not saying he's bad.
I agree with that. Eli in my book is not a curse word.
No. I'm saying that as in like 2-time Super Bowl winner, like very productive, incredible career. Like just because you're not one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the history of games does not make you trash.
Yeah,
No.
doesn't make you bad.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe we just need to. We've got the top 3, or Joe, if you want to talk about the elite pocket passer that is Joe Burrow. There are 1,000 different ways to win in this league, and Sam is showing you that you can be a very, very successful quarterback without needing the legs of Lamar, the shoulders of Josh, the arm of Joe, and the backyard of Mahomes.
The magician that is Mahomes.
The magician.
Sometimes it's just about having all of the right stuff around you.
Yep, and Sam found himself in the right position. He had it last year, but for some reason Minnesota was like, I mean, to be fair, I don't love
They
killing.
had just drafted somebody in the
Exactly.
top 10.
I don't love killing Minnesota for not keeping Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold would not have started last year in Minnesota if
Hilariously.
J.J. McCarthy doesn't get hurt in preseason.
I think
I agree with you, Patrick. I'm sorry.
Or
I don't
Sam
think he
goes
would
out
have.
in Game 5 and J.J. enters in.
I
will hammer
push
them.
back on that because JJ looked like twice fried doo-doo
Well,
leading into the season.
And that's what I will bash Minnesota for, is that's just terrible talent evaluation. None of us understood why they were so high on
we
J.J.
do now
McCarthy.
because their GM got fired.
Yes. I mean, at least with Penix, you knew the injury stuff was
Yeah.
there and it could be the end of him, but you see talent with Penix.
There's no doubt about that.
Sam, I want to share this interesting tidbit with you. Todd Bowles was the head coach of the Jets when they drafted Sam Darnold, 3rd overall. He had this quote after Sam Darnold won his first game as a Jet. Todd Bowles said, quote, "We won one game. I can tell you after about 100 more of them whether we have one or not. Right now, it's a little early." That was his quote about Sam Darnold. The Super Bowl was Sam Darnold's 101st game.
Pretty good.
So 100 games later, I think Sam's a franchise quarterback.
Took a little time.
Yeah.
Just like he said.
The most interesting thing I think with Sam going forward is how long does Sam have left? Because a lot of times you see these quarterbacks, what do we always say? Outside of like Tom, quarterbacks that once they get their big deal don't win.
Yeah, and Sam's
Because it's too
only
expensive.
28. He'll be 29 this summer.
But usually the Sam Darnolds of the world are like 25, 26. You know, Mahomes and Jalen Hurts of most recent, they're younger.
Sure.
Tom's the exception to almost all rules.
Well, and Sam doesn't have those physical, like, freak tools
No.
of like a Jalen Hurts or a Patrick Mahomes.
But at the same point, I say this about NBA guys all the time. It's great to have the freak tools. What happens when they disappear? Or they start to wane?
Sam is like the white point guard at Duke.
Yeah.
He goes out there, he knows how to do stuff. He's the floor slapper.
Lamar Jackson has entered the chat. If his legs go, now his arm is dynamite.
It's still great.
It's still great. But
But what makes him special is his legs.
is the combination.
Yes.
Is having both. And if his legs go, what happens to him there? I mean, I would argue Mahomes is in a worse situation if his legs go. Same with Jalen Hurts. I mean, we saw that with Hurts this year. My question, I think Sam has 2 more years left on his deal. Does he get another deal after that?
Oh, he's going to.
And does he stay? Is he the option in Seattle?
Oh, they
They
can't.
did draft Jalen Milroe.
You're not going. You're not going. To that
I don't
They-
think so
they
either.
can't
I'm just
not
asking
bring
the
him
question.
back.
Yeah.
Because they brought in Sam on basically the same deal that they brought in Geno Wilson, right? It was a 3-year deal. The third was, I think, a team option, and it was almost an identical deal as what they did with Geno Wilson.
What if Seattle has a huge hangover next year? I don't think they will, but what if they do?
You know what makes that hangover feel better? Winning the GD Super Bowl this year.
It does help.
It's super helpful. And I got to bring this up because resident Duck fan is going to get their panties in a bunch.
I knew you were going to go here.
You know damn well if
Should've
that was
just let it
Herbert,
go.
not Darnold, that played like that, he'd be getting killed for that performance.
Should have just let it go, Dave.
No, he wouldn't, because he's not making a mistake. Darnold didn't make a mistake.
And they won.
He missed throws, but he didn't make a mistake, and they won.
They effing won.
If Herbert went
they
out there,
effing won the whole GD thing.
if Herbie went out there and went 19 of 38 for 202 yards, a touchdown, 1 sack, and no turnovers, I'd be like, manage the game. Won. Who cares? That's what I would say.
Yeah. We're killing Drake May right now because Drake May wasn't good.
We're about to kill Drake, man.
Yeah, I know. But,
I'm definitely going to.
but you know what I mean? Like, the Duck fans, stop. Stop. It's ridiculous.
I think Sam is maybe the most intriguing Super Bowl winner we've ever seen.
Yeah, because like,
From quarterback position.
what is it that takes his
Brad
narrative?
Johnson, journeyman.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think
Trent
that
Dilfer, not very good.
we might have a little bit of recency bias
His
there
swath,
with that.
but his swath now for like what his career could be went from wide open to pretty narrow because Super Bowl winner, and again the winningest quarterback over the last 3 years,
and
yet
also you cannot ever take that away, Super Bowl winner.
no.
Nope. Quarterback of a
ever.
Super Bowl team.
But do you expect
that one-handedly?
Do you expect Sam Darnold to turn back into a pumpkin? No. I don't.
I don't.
I expect him to be a guy who's probably throwing 3,800 to 4,200 yards, 25 touchdowns, 10 picks for the next 6-7 years.
Sometimes it's
And
about.
most of those picks are probably going to be very poorly timed.
Yeah.
Sometimes
But, you
it's
know.
about the journey and the friends you make along the way. Ryan brings this up on the YouTube chat. He had Kyle Shanahan for a couple years. Then he moved to KOC in Minnesota. Then he got Kubiak in Seattle. Like, those are 3 brilliant quarterback minds,
He developed.
especially in Shanahan and KOC. We'll see what Kubiak does as a head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, he's shown that he's great. So is Sam now in a level where he doesn't need Kevin O'Connell, Shanahan, Kubiak? Has he got that confidence in him and he's learned through his mistakes and evolved over the years to be he's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL,
No.
but he can easily be a top 10 quarterback, and you don't need a top 5 quarterback to win in the NFL because the last time I checked, if you rank me the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, only one of them's got a title.
Yep.
See, now, and here's the thing with Sam, too, these last couple of years, like you mentioned, with KOC in Minnesota and whatnot. And if you go and look at Baker Mayfield in Tampa with Liam
Boom.
Cohen.
Exactly.
And how Trevor Lawrence turned a corner this season. Again, sometimes it's just about the fit and getting the right coach and the right system around you. And there's no problem with that. It doesn't make you any less successful.
Yeah, that's what I meant about the friends along the way. I love this text that just came in, 503-864-6326. We also write off QBs really quickly when they can't turn around bad franchises. If you're a top 5 pick, top 10 pick, it's because your team sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Very rarely are the San Francisco 49ers, 3rd overall, able to draft a quarterback. It doesn't really happen. Look at the Steelers. Like, they are desperate for Aaron to come back next year because they're going to take Ty Simpson at 17 overall. So it's like bad teams are drafting all the time up top.
Yes.
And I think that texter's spot on.
And I think it's like and look, call me a duck hog if you want. I do enjoy watching the Ducks and I follow them. But it was like I was listening to Joey with Isaac and Suk on Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if Joey had gone somewhere that had like a good, like, I don't want to put it this way. I don't want to say competent play caller, but a quarterback person, a quarterback developer. Imagine what he could have done with his career. But he went to the Lions and the Falcons and the Saints.
Without
and
a doubt.
Dolphins, and they were all dumpster fires at that time.
Without a doubt. I mean, Andrew Luck, he didn't have a good team until later in his career, and by then he was cooked.
Because he got annihilated.
Like, let's not forget, Peyton broke his neck, and that team was terrible. And then you realize, oh my God, this guy's a lot of Band-Aids. Lamar Jackson is a lot of Band-Aids in Baltimore right now. John Harbaugh got fired. He's won a Super Bowl.
In spite of a lot of offensive malfeasance.
Because you can live in this world now, this tier, I love the Eli comparison of Eli Manning, Jalen Hurts, Sam Darnold. They're all different quarterbacks, but they're kind of the same level, are they not?
Yeah.
Sprague just texted me that. Like, is that not a valid point?
Yeah, it's actually okay to have a second-tier quarterback.
Because
it's okay.
When you have a second-tier quarterback, then you have DeMarcus Lawrence and Leonard Williams and Devin Witherspoon and cast of characters around you everywhere because you're able to get Witherspoon and JSN in the same draft. Get out of here.
Well, because like you just said, it's okay to have maybe a second-tier quarterback. You have to put the right pieces around them.
But it's easier.
But like in Baltimore with John Harbaugh, and he's got Lamar Jackson. I think it was his entire tenure there, they never drafted a Pro Bowl wide receiver.
Right, because Lamar saved it covered it all up.
Right. But so what I'm saying is, so you still got to, even if you got that star guy, you got to have some of the pieces around them.
Guess who could use a wide receiver right now? Josh Allen could use a wide receiver right now. Patrick Mahomes. Look, I feel like Xavier Worthy and Rashee Rice, like, we prop these dudes up because they're with Patrick Mahomes. I don't think they're phenomenal wide receivers.
They're at best a 2 and more
at
like
best,
a 3-4.
Exactly.
I think in Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes makes a lot of people look really good.
I mean, Brady did the same thing.
Yeah.
Do Welker and Edelman have the careers they have without Tom Brady?
Absolutely.
Definitely
the
not
hell not.
Julian Edelman.
No.
Super Bowl MVP Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
Now, you add in Gronk and you add in Hernandez and you add in Moss. Like, guess what happened with those guys? They all had Hall of Fame career. Well,
Also-
Hernandez was on pace for one. Let's go down that road.
Also, guys like Matt Light on the offensive line, like, you got studs on that offensive line too. And Tom took discounts, and that helped.
Well, yeah, because he was also married to a super uber rich supermodel. So
But I mean, I think you could also put maybe Tom in this tier as well a little bit. Like, Tom got weapons and his numbers blew up because he's maybe the smartest quarterback to ever play. But as far as physical tools go, where's Tom? Top 30?
Look at his draft photo. He was as fat as I am.
I mean, early Tom in the Super Bowl is not the athletic dude that he was later on. He got smarter, took care of his body better, and advanced with
TB12,
medicine.
baby.
TB12
learned
was
how to use
totally
what limited physical tools he had.
And I don't mean it as a slight of Tom, because Tom's the GOAT. But physical, Aaron Rodgers laps around him. Steve Young laps around him,
Even Roethlisberger.
Laps, dude.
Laps
That
around
size, that arm.
Yeah.
So Brady was just able to capitalize on it the best. And he might be the smartest quarterback to ever play the game.
Well, and I think
Dan
also,
Marino, Aaron Rodgers laps around Tom physically.
And he had Tom's braids. He had a lot of the great pieces around him. And I think that was before at least, Mr. Belichick started taking over the general manager position and making those kinds of decisions.
It'll be interesting to see Sam going forward. And we'll take a peek at the future of both these teams in the Big Nooner, including Seattle, when it comes to Sam Darnold, that offensive coordinator position, and just the rest of the crew in general. But let's flip it on its head. Drake May needs to be addressed. I don't think it's all his fault, but you are an active participant. They would call that an accomplice. We'll do that next. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
It's time to nut up or shut up.
Getting higgy with it. Now, what did I do wrong?
Well, there's a lot of what went down, what went well, what went poor. I think we've addressed this a lot, and we can bring it back up real quick.
You navigated that what went pretty well.
Thank you.
I know what went poor. It was that bottle of Tito's into a glass.
I would argue that went well for you, Russ.
It did.
No, it was a pour, though.
Well, poor, P-O-U-R.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
God, you just missed the pun completely.
Yeah, sorry. I'm kind of an idiot.
It's a bad joke if you have to explain it.
I mean,
My bad.
it's a Russ joke.
I'm also an idiot, though, so don't put it past me to
Littering
just not
and,
see it.
littering
Yeah.
and.
There's no doubt about it that Seattle's defense was incredible. Firing on all cylinders. Find me the weakness in Seattle's defense yesterday, and I'll call you a liar. Will Campbell continues to show a lot of early growth issues on that offensive line, as he had a rough game as well. Danny, you've brought this up many, many times, and I think it is fair to acknowledge that when we are having a conversation about Drake May's performance yesterday, it is 100% fair that he had no time.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was crashing. The game was moving too fast for him. There were a lot of things that were out of his control
But also,
that made his day a nightmare. However, there are a lot of things that were in his control that I struggled with. And this isn't just yesterday. It's the entire playoffs.
yeah, he wasn't good the entire playoff run. Now, there was weather and other things that popped up, but still.
Now, I want to make this very, very clear, because I was talking with the Sunrise guys this morning in between a break, kind of like, they were like, I don't think you can kill Drake May. And I was like, I'm going to kill Drake May.
Mm-hmm.
Their argument was, you can't tell me he's not a franchise quarterback.
Oh, I'm not.
That I agree with.
Yeah.
So I will preface this, that Drake May has got a bright future.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly hit on a guy.
It's early Josh Allen. There's no weapons.
He's got some development he needs. That offensive line needs some tooling. I still believe in Josh McDaniels, etc. However, no defense over 12th in ranking in the regular season.
The Bills is the best defense they played all season.
And you went 1-1 against them. And then you took on the Chargers, pretty solid defense. Texans, top 3. Broncos, top 3. Seattle, top 3.
And how did you look against all those teams?
Pretty bad. Now, even a Mahomes and an Allen and a Burrow, etc., can struggle against teams of that caliber. But there is a difference between struggling. When Josh goes out there and throws 3 touchdowns, rushes for 1, has 2 picks and a fumble, you're like, oh, that was a hot mess of a day. But Josh is still getting some stuff done. Drake, what's the best? I can only think of one great play Drake May had all playoffs, and it was the run to seal the game against Denver.
How much do we still kill Jalen Hurts every year?
Yeah.
Who's
won a Super Bowl
still
while being very good in it.
You
yes.
know? I mean,
So I think Drake has got a long runway.
Yeah.
And he's going to be very good. I think he's got the right people around him.
He's got there's nothing Drake can't do. He's second in the NFL in rushing for quarterbacks this year. He's got a cannon of an arm. He's a big, strong dude. He's a heady guy. He can make throws on the run. He can make every throw in the field. Like, the idea that he's not a franchise quarterback because he crapped the bed in the Super Bowl because he was seeing ghosts is not a real thing.
I saw an interview before the game with Kyle Shanahan, and they asked him about, he was with Fred Warner, honestly, at the desk, and Fred Warner asked him the question, when do you go back and watch the Super Bowl loss? Because Shanahan has 3 as an offensive coordinator and 2 as a head coach. And he said, honestly, I don't watch it until the day before you all come back. He says, I try to let it go and walk away from it, and then the day before you all players come back to camp, I watch it and figure out what went wrong, what we need to address, and how we need to go forward.
maybe that's the problem.
Fred Warner, he said, I watched him that night.
Oof.
And I thought that was fascinating because I'll translate it. If I'm Drake May, so much went wrong that I don't think it's one of those that you just throw the tape out. You know, how many NBA games or college football
Damon
games do you watch?
Stoudemire is still not watched. Still not watched
Game
that
7?
game. He has still not watched it.
How many times do we watch college football, NBA games, and we're like, throw the tape out
Burn
on
it.
that. Everything was garbage. This is so bad. And even when you can point to, that's Will Campbell's fault, that's Witherspoon making a play.
And that's a great throw to Mac Hollins in the end zone. Like, sure, all those things there, but holistically, it's so bad. You have to.
If I'm Drake May, I've watched it twice already.
You have to.
I think you do, because there were so many times, again, we mentioned it, he's looking over his left shoulder. You know, I think we should maybe retire the phrase seeing ghosts, because I think there are different levels of it. I don't know
He
if
was scared for his life.
I don't know if he saw ghosts. I think he just didn't know what to do.
You just saw Seahawks.
Yeah, like the game's moving too fast. All of a sudden, the game has sped up. What made Drake May so great this year, and I would even argue against the Broncos, the Texans, and the Chargers, was he was still able to keep the game in front of him. So even though he wasn't good at all, and the best and the worst metrics of any quarterback going into Super Bowl, even though he wasn't good at all, he was still able to keep the game in front of him. And last night, he couldn't. Pockets collapsing in less than a second and a half, you know, and he can't see receivers. They can't run the football. His blind side is a disaster zone. So maybe I am sticking up for him here. I don't know. I feel like I'm a little 5 toes down on this. But what separates the best from the mediocre is overcoming some of those moments. And some of them you just can't. But there was no moment where I saw him start to kind of figure it out.
There's a reason why I said I think it's better for Drake May to go and get his teeth kicked in than to lose last week or 2 weeks ago.
I think your fear is just being Drew Bledsoe, who never went back as a starter again.
Dan
Marino,
never
who
know.
never went back as a starter again. Joe Burrow has not been back.
No.
Well, I feel like Bledsoe and Marino are kind of two different stories there, though.
How so?
Well, Bledsoe had somebody else come in and take over his spot.
Sure, but he went, and then that next time
And
they went was 6 years later,
Well, I'm just
5
saying,
years later,
But so Dan Marino, but he was still there for another 15, 16 years.
and never went back.
No, I never went back. But that's what I'm saying is that's where I feel like that's a little bit of a
But
false
yeah,
equivalency.
But you also can't take them for granted. But I also think that both the Seahawks and the Patriots are set up for the next few years.
Oh, I think so too.
Both their books look very good. They both have good young head coaches. Organizationally, they make sense from top to bottom. They both have quarterbacks that I think that you very easily. I mean, Drake May was a top 5 quarterback this year. He finished second MVP voting. Like, there's no doubt about how the things that they have that can set things up for them. Now, what's going to be interesting is it's not so much the sophomore slump for Drake May. Next year, they're going to have the second toughest schedule expected in the NFL.
Oh, I heard Dirt and Sprague read off like their road schedule and whatnot this season or this upcoming. It's brutal.
It's going to be
I'll go
nightmare
look
for
that
you.
up.
Brutal.
So what does that look like
And
for
the
him when all of a sudden they're playing better defenses for 18 weeks?
And the loser of the Super Bowl in recent modern history
does not fare
does
well.
not fare well.
Yeah.
The winner of the Super Bowl is okay. They middle around in different areas, but that's okay. The loser of the Super Bowl almost always falls. Matt Ryan went to a Super Bowl up 28-3, never sniffed it again.
Well, so and here's one thing that just kind of struck me too is how often in Super Bowl history have we seen a contest where you have one coach in his second season and the other one in his first season with that new team. Yes, he had a few years of experience before that, but how many times have you seen like a 1 and 2 year head coach
It's
against
true.
each other in the Super Bowl?
I
think both these teams are set up great.
I'm trying to think of just coaches that have been to the Super Bowl in their early years on a second team. I'm thinking, honestly, maybe Holmgren. How long was Holmgren in Seattle before they went to the Super Bowl?
I feel like that was
Because I know
quickly.
when he left Green Bay, he took Hasselbeck with him.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "This is my guy. We're going over here."
Was that
Because I think
3
he's
years
the
later?
he's the first coach to go to 2 Super Bowls on different teams. I think.
Let's see here.
I don't
think.
know off the top of my head.
He took over in '99 with the Seahawks.
Oh, okay. So
So later, yeah.
6 years, 5 years. Okay, so that's longer than I thought.
I thought he left later than that.
Me
I
too.
thought he left like
Me
02,
too.
03.
He was 90. He was with the Packers, Holmgren, 92 to 98, and then with Seattle, 99 to 08.
Oh, okay. Yeah, way later than I
Yeah.
thought. So, I mean, it's a good point. I mean, to turn things around that quickly, it's the Signetti thing, dude. It's like, I need you to win now. It's like, it's very hard to do.
And yet, he had a chance.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of Seattle credit should go to Mike McDonald, but also, I mean, Schneider, is he the best GM in the NFL?
Yes, that's why he was
Has to
voted
be.
Executive of the Year.
Has to be.
What did he get wrong? Nothing. They won a Super Bowl.
Nothing. Can't think of it.
Oh, and so yes, by the way,
Maybe they could use a big body as a wide receiver or a tight end, but I'm picking hairs here.
Holmgren, went to the Seahawks for the 99 season, and they won the Super Bowl in the 05
They
season.
went in 05. They lost to the Steelers. Big Ben. Ooh, Big Ben's second year. He won a
Oh,
title.
I'm sorry. My apologies. You're correct.
Right? Is that Ben's second year?
I think so.
Yeah.
Second or third.
Both these quarterbacks were number 3 overall picks.
Good spot to be.
Good spot to be.
Turns out being drafted at the top doesn't guarantee it, but if you look over the history of the league, it's pretty damn successful.
Yeah, if you can just get out of that bad situation you're in, or that bad situation actually improves from
Yeah.
capable adults in the room, that'll get you there. Hey, let's take a pause on football. You want to get into this?
It's a little basketball.
Blazers have themselves a new point guard. Trade deadline. Actually, all we needed was one of our guys. I'm just messing. Scoot made his debut on Friday. Blazers 2-0 over the weekend. We'll chat a little bit about that next. But first, the Kahuna with sports.
Hamburgers, the cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, the Trailblazers back on the court tonight after snapping their 6-game skid with back-to-back wins over the Grizzlies. Scoot Henderson sat out Saturday's game after making his season debut on Friday. That's when he scored 11 points in 21 minutes. They host the 76ers tonight. Shaden Sharp out with a calf injury. Denny Avdia, Bob Williams III, they are both questionable. Scoot, though, is probable. That's a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 302 and 1016. The Blazers are 3.5-point underdogs. Got a doubleheader on Peacock this evening. The Giannis-less Bucks are 10.5-point underdogs at Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That's a 4:30 tip. Then at 7 o'clock, the Thunder without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander still as they visit LeBron and the Lakers. LA still without Luka Doncic. The Thunder are 6.5-point favorites in that 7 o'clock tip. Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports reporting the Chargers hiring former Jets and Dolphins head coach Adam Gase as a passing game coordinator. Gase has been out of the NFL for 5 seasons. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Russ from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Non si può stopparlo.
Coming up next, we'll get to Web Gems, everybody's favorite. The Prodigal Son returns. Didn't see that coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. So we'll get to that here in about 15 minutes. But the Blazers, Danny, over the weekend, 2-0 against Memphis Grizzly team. We were texting. First off, would like to say this on the air. Thank you for texting me during games.
Hey,
Sometimes I'll text you. I know you're busy, but sometimes I'll text you kind of like an idea of something maybe we talk about for the show the next day about a game, or I'll have a question, and you'll get back to me a little later if you want. But we had some nice actual back
There
and
you go.
forth there. So thanks, buddy.
I got you.
No, you can't be Dirt. Dirt doesn't respond to anybody.
No.
So I appreciate that. Where do you want to start? The games themselves or
No,
Scoot?
start Friday night when Scoot's return.
First of all, the crowd was wonderful.
Yep.
Do you see the little kid with the Scoot jersey just jacked?
Well, here, I'll roll it back a month ago, like 4 months ago. When Scoot got injured, I ran into him at Moda, and he was down in the dumps, man,
Yeah.
for good reason.
Understood. I'm a basketball player and I can't play basketball.
Playing really well coming out of camp, was feeling good. All the reports were like, man, he's really taking some steps. And then he has a setback. Again, like Scoot, I don't want to say he's injury prone, but he's yet to play a season without an injury that takes away real time.
I think some of that is his style, you know?
But it's just stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It also happened with the Ignite too. You know, he had the ankle thing that shut him down with the Ignite. And again, I'm not saying he's injury prone, but it's like my eyebrows up. But you could just tell he was just so defeated. And he's a young guy who's got so much life. He's got so much energy. He's got the megawatt smile. Like he's vibes personified. And over the last month, as he was starting to ramp stuff up, you could just feel his energy improving. You know, I'm in the cargo delivery area where the players walk in pregame, because I'm usually talking to guys there, and you could just feel his demeanor start changing as he started getting back on the court. It went from, "Hey, Scoot, how you doing, man? Hey, I'm okay," to, "Hey, brother, how you doing? How you doing?" Like
I remember seeing him in that red velour tracksuit that he was wearing, and I was like, he had his big glasses on. I was like, oh, Scoot's kind of vibing tonight.
I got out on the floor Friday night as he was walking out in the tunnel. You know, he's dapping up everybody on the bench. It gets to me. "Hey, man, it's good to see you back." He's, "Man, it's good to be back. It's good to be back." And he's bouncing. He's electric in his warm-up. He missed a couple shots in his warm-up because he was so just geeked. And I'm like, oh, he's the adrenaline is dumping. And you saw it on his first jump shot. He missed that thing by 3 feet. He also threw that lob to Donovan 2 feet higher than he should have. But with all that being said, I thought Scoot played tremendous. And I thought you saw exactly what you wanted to see from Scoot. That first shift, he played a little out of control. That's the adrenaline. I have no issues with that. But he got to his spots. I mean, even in his first shift, he had a pass driving down the right wing, right slot, turns the corner on the baseline, just uses his eyes to look to the other side, freezes the defender on the help side, live dribble, one-handed, scoops that pass and fires it up top to Tumani, hits the three. The pass was so good, I'm like, "Tu, you got to hit that. Tu, you got to hit that."
Yelling at Tumani.
And he did, and I was like, there you go. But we talked on Friday, the difference between Scoot Henderson and Shaedon Sharpe, who they are as players. If Shaedon is not scoring, what is he doing? He can help on the glass. He can create a little bit. But Scoot intrinsically helps the game. Even if he's not getting... He finished with, 9 assists, I think he finished with?
9 assists.
He could have had 17. And his hockey assists, his secondary assists were through the roof. The ball just moves. He's a natural playmaker. And you just saw that in his ability... The difference between, I'm going to make this comparison because these are the two young guys. I'm sure Shaedon fan is going to lose their mind right now.
I'm going to lose my mind.
Scoot's handle is so many orders of magnitude better than Shaedon's.
Yeah, but I would argue you need someone in Scoot's position, like the position he plays, to have better
I don't care what
handles.
position you are. If you're a primary scorer or primary ball handler, your handle needs to be better.
Well, but I still think a point guard's going to have a better handle than a shooting guard
Sure, but
any day.
There's plenty of guys at that 2 spot that have good handles. Shaedon does not. And you see that. You see, like... if you ever get the chance to shake Scoot's hand, do it. Because he has hands like dinner plates. He has massive, massive, massive mitts. And when you see him manipulate the ball, whether on the dribble or as a passer, like that pass, that live dribble, one-handed cross-chest pass, the ball looks like a tennis ball in his hands. And the stuff that he can do to get to his spots whenever he wants to get there, that manipulation, that's the thing that allows him to be this creator. Yes, he doesn't have Kyrie's handles, but he's got a very good handle.
Who does have
yeah,
Kyrie's
I know. People are like,
handles?
oh, his handles. It's like, no. Kyrie's the GOAT. Leave it alone. But he can get to his spots with his athleticism, with his strength, but also his handle's very good. Scoot's issues over the last couple of years have been his turnovers come from bad pass turnovers. And the thing about Scoot is he has there's good passers in the league. There's great passers. There's the Lukas, there's the Jokic's of the world, those kind of guys. He's more of he's the next tier down. Like his passing versatility is crazy good. Live dribble, right hand, left hand, two-handed, bounce pass, lob pass. There are a lot of point guards in the NBA that don't have passing versatility. He has passing versatility. For him, it's just sometimes he gets a little wild. And those are things you can coach. If you have the ability, you can coach the little things, like be a little bit tighter with your passes, be a little bit better, be a little bit more precise. Those things matter. But I thought you saw all of that stuff on display, and then you saw the explosion, the baseline drive for the dunk. That was like, oh, he's feeling good.
Yeah, and I think when I saw that, we talked about this on Friday, and when I saw that play, that told me he is more game ready than we thought. What did we think? 15 minutes? Played 21 minutes. I expect him to play the same tonight, but that's still 5 more minutes, a rotation more than we expected on Friday.
I thought they were going to play it carefully, but also
he seemed to come back more ready than we thought.
Not just that, he was good. And so, you're checking with him when he comes out.
A little sloppy, but that's
see, the thing is,
speed.
His turnovers, I think they weren't loud.
No,
they were rust.
We've been talking about loud turnovers of late. Drew had really rough,
loud turnovers last week.
Shaden's had some loud turnovers.
Donovan has had some loud turnovers.
Donovan as well.
Scoots were rust turnovers. You look at those and you go, when you watch the tape, you go, tighten that up.
You haven't played basketball for a little bit, have you?
And Tiago was very adamant about that in the pregame. Scoot is going to have more leash. He's going to have more leash. He's going to be allowed to make mistakes. Like if he makes a couple mistakes in a row, Tiago's not going to look down the bench and go get somebody. He's going to allow him to knock the rust off.
Side note, with Shaden out for a little bit, we're not quite sure exactly what it is. I know he's out tonight. How often do you think we'll see potential of Scoot and Drew on the court at the same time?
I think you will now with Shaden out because it's gonna allow him to toggle off.
I know I'm mystery box, but I really want to see it. I want to see how they play with each other.
Well, Drew, that's the thing is Drew is a 1 and a 2. Like he's a legitimate combo guard,
Hall of Fame guard.
Yes, but it's not like most guys can't. Like I want to drive that point home. Most guys can't do what Drew Holiday does.
No.
Like even among great players, most guys can't do what he does.
The pantheon of point guards in NBA history, Drew Holiday's on that list. I don't know where he is, and we don't need to figure out where he is. But as far as IQ, the whole shebang,
he's one of the smartest guards of the past 30 years. Like, and his ability to toggle off the ball and on the ball whenever you want it to. It's not like when he checks in, he's like looks around and goes, "All right, I'm not doing anything right now." Like sometimes he'll look around and go, "Things are a little chaotic right now. I need to take over." And he'll be like, he'll give like a little handshake of, "No, settle in. I got this."
Drew Holiday plays point guard. Scoot Henderson plays point guard. Do you know we have a third point guard?
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Guess who's coming to play? Shocking announcement. Shocking to me, but something I'm very excited about. Web Gems is next. 105.1 The Fan.
Sometimes it's good.
Aw, I've interrupted happy time.
Sometimes it's bad.
Ouch, son of a...
It's Web Gems.
What'd you do?
The Firm of Harris and Meringue on the Fan Sports Network. 105.1 and 1080 The Fan.
All right, this Web Gems, everybody's favorite. Do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll get back into some Super Bowl chatter. The future of both these teams are bright, but what do they look like? Let's have a special teams conversation, because I think special teams were very much on display. Everybody loves to talk about all three facets of the game, and I feel like sometimes they just throw in special teams. But boy, Seattle is very lucky to have the special teams that they do. And then I thought it'd be fun to kind of goof off in some non-football highlights of your Super Bowl experience. We just got done chatting about Scoot Henderson being back. We should see him tonight. I don't know the future. Danny, you were saying to me in the break, we're not quite sure the full situation on Shaden right now. We know he's got a calf pull, kind of uncomfortable, but we're not sure if it's a couple game or if it's a Jeremy Grant situation. It's calf, and there is nothing more cause for concern in NBA than calf issues. That's the number one thing. Calf and second apron. Those are the hot topics in the NBA right now. But there was some fun news over the weekend that I never even contemplated it. I never even thought it was a possibility. Damian Lillard, yes, that Damian Lillard, will participate in the three-point contest at All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, Dame's been shooting for a long time.
We've seen him. You've seen it on Instagram.
I threw the video up
Yeah.
literally the beginning of the season, the pregame of the first season. Dame hit I want to say 18 out of 23s in a row. He's been shooting for a while.
I kind of really love this concept of him getting in the three-point contest. Now, he's won it before.
Yep, twice.
Twice. So that's helpful. But I love it in the sense, now, you can't say this because Dame doesn't come across as this kind of guy. But it's almost like, hey, did y'all forget about me? Y'all want to talk about Tyrese Halliburton and Jason Tatum coming back from their Achilles? Hello?
I exist.
Me too. I'm really excited for this. And
They call me Logo Lillard.
yeah. And it also tells me that he must feel pretty good about moving rack to rack. You know, guys aren't full sprinting rack to rack. Maybe they are. But if Damian Lillard feels like he can compete in a three-point competition and still have to move like that, that tells me, more than we already knew that recovery had been going well. But if you're feeling good enough that you can participate in All-Star Weekend, I kind of like that. I wish more players would do this, assuming it doesn't blow his Achilles.
I mean, if this is where it happens, look, he's not going to get this green light without the franchise allowing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look, D's been on track for a while now, but he's been adamant in all of the discussions that I've had with him, seemingly every month, just checking in. Yeah, how you doing? How you feeling? What's going on? You still not playing this year? He's told me since this summer, since he signed back with the team, I'm not playing this year, dude.
That doesn't shake at all?
I don't think so.
There's no reason for him to.
No, definitely not.
And I've asked him more recently about if he would play if they got in the playoffs. And he's like, no. He's like, look, man, this is what I want to do. I want to hit the off season like I normally would, take my normal rest,
your normal routine,
get into my routine, go take my vacation, go have my birthday, go do all those things, and then go ramp up for the season like any other season.
I agree.
So he hits the ground running going into next year.
Who else is in the three-point contest?
I bet you it's easier to name those guys than the dunk contest.
Boy, I took a shot at that. I saw the 4 names in the dunk contest, and I was like, dude, I'm out.
I actually saw Mac McClung on an NBA court the other night.
Yeah, that happened. Well, that's because the Bulls are trying to sell tickets.
Ooh, I've got it for you. Dude, the three-point contest is loaded.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, Devin Booker, Tyrese Maxey, Spider Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Bobby, well, maybe not. Bobby Portis Jr., Norm Powell, and Con Kneppel.
Why is it we get better names in the three-point contest than the dunk contest?
Because the greatest shooters of all time haven't dunked it.
I'm just saying. But
no, that's legitimate.
No, I get it, but I mean,
LeBron James not doing the dunk contest ruined it.
Kobe ever do a dunk contest?
Yeah.
Yeah, in his younger days?
I think it started before LeBron.
LeBron was the one that killed it. Because once the king killed it, That was it.
Nobody else wanted to be a part of it. Am I a bad Blazer fan if I'm rooting for Con Knipple?
No. Con's a hooper.
I love Con Knipple.
Con's a flat out stone cold killer.
I was hoping, I wanted him, in that draft. It was like, let's go get the nipple.
No, yeah, he was never falling.
Well, no, yeah.
Yeah, he was never falling. Like,
Did I hear that they've won 8 games in a row?
Yeah. Not 9.
9?
Yeah.
I think Sprague said this morning for the first time since 2000.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't like 2010, 2004, 2022,
2000.
since 2000.
26 years.
Was Alonzo Mourning on that team?
Ooh.
No, but right on the edge.
I'm pulling it up right now. 2000 Charlotte Hornets roster. Here we go. 99, 2000, or 2000, 2001 is what we want.
No, Alonzo Mourning was not on that team. He was on the Miami Heat by that point.
Coach is Paul Silas. Remember, everybody love old Silas.
Celtics great.
Let's see here. Who we got? Jamal Mashburn.
Yeah.
The Monster Mash.
That's Mash just before his injury, right?
Baron Davis.
That's young B. Diddy.
That is rookie Baron Davis. Eldon Campbell.
Who's still solid.
Derek Coleman.
Not
DC.
Not solid at that point in time. In fact, solid is the last word I would use for him at that point in his career.
These guys are like,
I think, was he just hoping
Derek-
he had some solid bowel movements at that point?
Him and Antoine Walker were eating at the same spots.
Derek Coleman was born on June 21st of 1967.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
Wow. I didn't think I was that much younger than him.
PJ Brown, Scott Burrell, Hersey
PJ was-
Hawkins.
PJ was still fine. Hersey was.
Tim James was a rookie out of Miami.
Trailblazers legendary assistant coach Hersey Hawkins.
Hersey Hawkins.
Hey, he's in charge of alumni for the
Is he
Blazers.
still here?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Wow, this team's not very good.
No. Well, I mean, Barron was a monster.
Barron
that
was
year.
great, yeah.
And
Record of
Mash was still pretty damn good then.
46 and 36 that
Yeah,
year.
no, they're
finished
but
third in the NBA Central.
Yeah, they were. Gets so weird. The Hornets were in the Central.
They beat the Heat in the first round and then lost in the semis to the Bucks.
Yeah.
Who was on that Bucks team? Michael Redd?
No, Red was 01 or 02, wasn't he?
Ray Allen?
No, Ray was 2000. So yeah, I think he should have been.
Let's see here.
I think
Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Glenn Robinson.
Yeah, Big Dog. Yep.
Sam
'Cause
Cassell.
Big Dog was 96.
Darvin Ham.
There you go. Yeah, because Red was, I think, that next year.
Okay.
So the current Hornets, last 2 weeks, 7-0.
Ray was really good that year, by the way.
He's really good. They have a plus 14 point differential. They have the third best offense, fourth best defense.
Knipples he might beat old Cooper Flagg for
He's
rookie
not
of the
doing
year.
that.
Not now.
Not doing that.
Not with how good Coop's
Coop
been
has
lately.
hit I was talking to a couple scouts about this Friday night. When 98% of all rookies hit that wall at 30-plus games, Coop has taken off to another level. Like what Flagg has been doing for the last month is just like, oh, he's really good.
He pulled that point in Eddie Murphy Delirious where he's the ice cream truck guy is you notice the kids behind him. He's like, all right, let's watch how fast we can make these little MFers run.
Yeah, it's like, in fact, I know we don't really have necessarily time for it, but I want to pull this up real quick.
Do whatever you want, man.
What Flagg has done? All experience rookies, last 15 games. Come on, stupid engine work. Cooper Flagg is averaging 24, 7, and 4 on 50, 40, 80 splits.
Is that good? Good?
He has been an absolute monster. Hey, remember, keep in mind, we're going to ring the bell here. He turned 19 in December.
Imagine him on this Duke team.
Oh, good gravy. Would they
Hey,
still
man,
beat?
Knipple.
Would they still beat North? Would they actually knocked off North Carolina?
Yes, they
Yeah,
would have.
yeah, I know.
In fact, without
I
them,
don't
they
think it
should
would have been a
have.
contest.
Yeah, no. But
We'll actually talk about that tomorrow.
But I do want to highlight Con is averaging 18, 6, and 4 on 52, 43, 93.
He is
splits.
him.
And he is all of it.
The
He's
Hornets
very
have
good.
finally hit in a top 5 draft pick.
I don't.
It's just been 30 years.
I don't want to do this because it's not a cross race comparison. When you have a white guy, you can't.
I know.
You can't go white guy. He's thick, Chris Mullen. That's who he is.
Yeah,
Just
he's a better shooter.
yes, but like as far as like how he uses his physicality to really create space, he's got a good enough handle to get wherever he wants to.
Isn't every white guy supposed to be compared to Larry Bird?
Yeah, I know, but he's
Larry Legend.
Yeah, but he's more Chris Mullen than Bird because he wants to be physical with you. And not that Larry was a chump, but Mullen was a guy who like Mullen
Danny just said Larry's a chump.
Yeah.
503-864-6332.
Yeah, Mullen's New York through and through, just tough
True,
as could be.
totally.
And Kahn's just
that Johnny boy.
Kahn's just that country strong man. Like he's just.
Did you know he's from Wisconsin?
No, is he from Wisconsin? Oh, okay.
I guess when it comes to Larry Legend, too, who do we think at this All-Star Game three-point contest, who's the guy that walks in and says, which one of you MFers is coming in second?
Damian Lillard.
I mean, Dame could.
Honestly, Dame wouldn't, but Dame.
Yeah,
I could see.
Kahn's got
him.
some swag to him, though.
Yeah.
Kahn's got some swag to him.
When we come back, we'll get into the big nooner. We'll get back to some Super Bowl chatter. We'll kind of put a bow on the Super Bowl a little bit. We'll talk a little special teams and then our favorite moments that weren't football. We'll get to all that next. One more hour to go. Stick with us. We're having a great time on a Monday. 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
I'm
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Jeff Rust here with your Sports Center update. First on the Fan, the Trailblazers back on the court this evening after snapping their 6-game skid with back-to-back wins over the Grizzlies over the weekend. Scoot Henderson sat out Saturday's game after making his season debut on Friday. That's when he scored 11 points in 21 minutes. They host the 76ers tonight. Shaedon Sharpe out with a calf injury. Denny Avdia, Robert Williams III, they are questionable. Scoot, meanwhile, is probable. That is a 7 o'clock tip on KUNP. Xfinity Channel 302 and 1016. The Blazers are 3.5-point underdogs. Got a doubleheader on Peacock this evening. The Giannis Les Bucks, they are 10.5-point dogs at Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That is a 4:30 tip. Then at 7 o'clock, the Thunder without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Still, as they visit LeBron and the Lakers, no Luka Doncic either. The Thunder are 7.5-point favorites. Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports reporting the Chargers hiring former Jets and Dolphins head coach Adam Gase as a passing game coordinator. Gase has been out of the NFL for 5 seasons. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Recruiting with Andrew Nemec, Thursday evenings at 7 after Isaac and Suk on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Down one to go here, the firm of Harrison Meringue, my friends. We do this every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for being a part of our day.
And I wish you could hear what we talk
We
about.
are happy to be a
when I
part
leave the damn camera on.
of your day.
Just hear us talking to nobody.
You are not allowed to know what goes on behind the curtain. Coming up after us, we'll turn it over to Duck Insider.
This is
from
the old,
1 to 2.
what is his name? Adam Savage. Whoopsies.
Duck Insider from 1 to 2. The Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3. And then it's primetime, baby. Best show on the planet from 3 to 7. Isaac and Suk in the house take you all the way home, finishing up 13 hours of live, local, continuous regional sports talk radio. There's the Fan text line, 503-864-6326. Or you can come hang out with us in the YouTube chat. Looking at these two teams going forward, the Seahawks defeat the New England Patriots 29-13 in a game that honestly wasn't that close. Your Super Bowl MVP, Kenneth Walker III. We'll have a little conversation about special teams in a moment. These two teams going forward is a very, very interesting situation. There's no doubt about it that the Patriots had the schedule gods on their side this year. What's interesting for the Seahawks is I don't know how much more difficult your schedule can get despite being the Super Bowl champ when you play in the NFC West. You've already got 2 teams that have Super Bowl windows open right now.
And the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals. I don't think the Rangers going to like that, Yogi. But to take a peek at this as you're trying to look ahead, look, the Seahawks, yeah, they got some tough opponents next year. That's kind of the punishment of winning the Super Bowl. At home, outside of their divisional games, they will host the Giants, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Bears, and the Patriots. That's a tough little group there, right? Their away opponents, other than their division, Eagles, Commies, Broncos, Raiders, Panthers.
Yeah,
that's a tough schedule.
It's a tough schedule.
That's a tough schedule. To slide over to the New England Patriots, their life might be worse, in my opinion. They are very lucky they play the Dolphins and the Jets still. So there's probably 4 wins right there.
Helping that division.
Those teams are not getting better. In fact, the Dolphins are going the wrong way.
They're tearing down.
And the Jets, I don't see them nailing their draft pick and really changing a
Well,
lot of what they did.
Where's their quarterback?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. But they also will take on away. They're at the Bears, at the Chiefs, at the Lions, at the Jags, at the Chargers, and at the Seahawks.
You notice what I'm noticing in this?
What?
Bears.
They could lose all of those games except for their division, Buffalo, New York, and Miami. They could lose all of those away games.
Really want to see what this Bears schedule looks like. 'Cause
Yeah. Right?
theirs is going to be tough too.
That's-
NFC title game.
That's a good point. Home, they will host, obviously, Bills, Dolphins, and Jets, but they will also take on the Broncos at home, the Vikings at home, the Steelers at home, the Raiders, and the Packers.
How did the Raiders get both teams?
I don't know.
We sucked.
Well,
That's
that just might be
divisions.
one of those
No, it
divisions.
is. It's
Yeah.
they're
They
both,
both just
they
lined
both
up with
have
the AFC West.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're going to find out about the Patriots pretty quick. I think that schedule is going to be absolutely brutal. I heard the Sunshine guys talking about opening week and what that might look like. I want Seahawks Bears.
Seahawks Bears would be nice.
That's what I want.
I just because you brought it up, I'm curious now too. The Bears at home will take the Bucks, the Eagles, the Jags, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Saints.
Good God.
That also includes Vikings, Packers, Lions.
I think honestly, the that opening nighter, I don't know who has it, what television partner has it, but I don't know how you don't go with Seahawks Chiefs if they are on the schedule, if that's a thing.
Their away opponents for the Bears, remember, Lions, Packers, and Vikings. The Bills, the Dolphins, the Falcons, the Panthers, the Seahawks.
God,
There's a lot of landmines in there.
that schedule looks horrendous.
There's a lot of grenades in there.
That schedule sounds just atrocious.
When you look at these two teams, Danny, going forward, we had talked earlier that the Super Bowl hangover for the loser is a real thing. What is the biggest concern if you are a Patriots fan or that front office going into the offseason?
You need a weapon.
You need a weapon.
You need a weapon.
Stephon Diggs ain't the jam anymore.
No. You need a weapon for sure for Drake May. You need to improve the offensive line. I think defensively you're fine. I mean, again, you're going in holistically with, not with injuries. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking, best case scenario kind of a deal. Your top priorities are offensive line and a weapon. I think your top priorities are just offense in general, making it easier on Drake May, because he's going to go into next year and coming out of that, he's going to be extension eligible. So if you're going to add a weapon, this is the absolute time to do it.
I'm looking at free agents coming into this year. It's not a lot of offense. If you're looking at wide receiver, because I think they like their running back group.
No,
They just need to get better.
I mean, Hunter Henry's fine, but if you can get better at the tight end spot, I'd certainly like to see that.
And I think
I wouldn't. I hate the Patriots, but like if you're talking about holistically, yeah.
I think you're interested. I think you like Trayvon Henderson and what's his butt, the other running back for them. But so you're talking a receiver.
Yeah.
Ramondre Stevenson.
Thank you very much, Stevenson. The best receiver available is George Pickens. It sounds like he's going to get franchise tagged. So adios on that. You're going to get to Alec Pierce from the Colts. That's your next best option. Following that, at least according to this ESPN rankings, Mike Evans. I have to imagine Tampa will do everything to bring him back.
Yeah.
Isaiah Likely is a free agent tight end. Romeo Dobbs.
Could you say
from the
he's
Packers?
likely a free agent?
Stop it. Kyle Pitts Sr., tight end.
Yeah,
Rashid Shaheed.
I think the Seahawks are going to keep him.
Juwan Jennings.
I think if you're the Patriots, you're probably using that first round pick on a wide receiver.
I think so too.
Now, I don't think Mekhi Lemon, I think, is the second or third wide receiver, depending on what you're looking at. He doesn't either fit that bill as far as a big wide receiver, but he definitely fits the Patriot mold of wide receiver. Plus run blocker, catches everything.
Definitely.
Can run inside, can run outside. Again,
He's got some JSN to him.
This isn't my USC homerism. Like, Mekhi Lemon is a monster.
You know me, I love Mekhi Lemon.
He's an absolute monster. There's some bigger body wide receivers who are rated behind Mekhi, but because of their size, are probably going to go earlier in the draft, which if you're the Patriots, I think you want to get Drake a a security blanket. But that's also where, you may look at a guy like Mekhi too, but I don't think he's going to be available at pick 31.
Well, that's the problem too, and we'll get into a lot of the draft when we get there, but if Fernando's the only quarterback coming off the board, that basically
it bumps a lot of other teams up.
It makes you at 31 overall drafting more like 39, 40 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Some years 3 quarterbacks go, some year 6 quarterbacks go. Let's find that in the middle there, 4.5. Yeah, that can bump your 31 to 35 real quickly.
I mean, in this draft, you're looking at Carnell Tate as a wide receiver. You're looking at Tyson from Arizona State. And both those guys are projected in the top 15. Mekhi is at 16. So your top you're taking 3 wide receivers in the top 16. And then after that, it gets a little bit slimmer. You get Denzel Boston from Washington, who's another big-bodied guy. Like maybe he's projected at pick 24. Maybe you can go there. Concepcion from Tech or A&M. God, I'm confusing them up. A&M, sorry. But he's not the big-bodied guy. And then you start, you get into Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana, and that's kind of your first-round guys at this point in time. So you really only have kind of the 2 or 3 of the big-bodied guys. But who's also your head coach? Do you just double down and go, our defense is good, let's be great?
There is a lot of free agents on the defensive side of the ball that would make your team very, very nice. Does Trey Hendrickson get moved? Does he free agent, or do they franchise tag him and then move him? Because that would be a nasty piece to add. Jalen Phillips.
Drake May would love to see Kenyon Sadiq in New England.
That's true. But again, I don't know if any of those dudes last at 31. If nobody's taking quarterbacks.
You start seeing best player available at positions going a little bit earlier.
Exactly.
What do you think about Kenyon Sadiq going to Kansas City?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting. And then if you're Seattle, look, I think we've talked about this. I'd like to see a big body target somewhere. Maybe it's a tight end. Maybe it's kind of just a DK type receiver there, because I do think they missed that a little bit. I think with Seattle, though, again, their cap situation is in such a good spot. And John Schneider, and we trust, for any fan of any sport, really, you would die to have a John Schneider. I think you really are just looking at fit. Because look what's the biggest change?
Well,
from last year to this year.
They're going to pay
it's Geno and it's DK Metcalf.
And they're going to pay Witherspoon.
Totally.
I'd
I'd have to look at D-Law and Leonard Williams, what they look like coming through. I'm sure all them linebackers they got are all on pretty friendly contracts.
Ernest Jones, yeah. It's one of those things where they also have to make a decision on Walker.
Mm-hmm.
So those are guys that are probably going to eat up some stuff.
Does that running back conversation come back into play?
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, man, you were great for us, and you won the MVP, and thank you for your time.
But the number's $9 million. Take it or leave it.
And we'll draft a running back in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Or you draft that with your first-round pick. I think Seattle is in a very, very fortunate position that it's about fit. I don't even know if it's about best player available. I think it is personality. I think interviews with Seattle, if you want to get drafted by Seattle, you're going to have to nail your interview. Because they'll know who's talented. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But I think they had something really special this year, offensively, defensively. When you saw all the interviews leading up to the game and post-game press conferences, I hate to say it because it's so cliche, but they really do feel like a team. And do you want to buck that trend? Because that's how you win with a quarterback like Sam Darnold, is right fits. JSN was your slot. You moved him to your outside, and that worked. And DK being the head case off the team, that helps. Geno Smith's flipping off Raider fans. He ain't flipping off Seahawk fans.
Yeah.
Those are good moves. Also, who's going to run the offense?
Mm-hmm.
That's the real question.
Trying to figure that part of it out is always, we make a big deal out of it, and if they get it wrong, but if it's just good enough.
I wonder if a Mike McDaniel would have been interested in the Seattle job had he known Kubiak was going to go to Vegas. You'd have to think it's a pretty attractive job, right?
Yeah, but I think the allure,
because McDonald's going to let you do it.
Yeah, but I think that's also true because the difference between him working with McVay is going to be a little bit different.
He's with Harbaugh.
I'm sorry, with Harbaugh. Sorry, my LA teams are backwards. But I also think he probably wants to work with a more accomplished quarterback in Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got McConkey. You've got some weapons.
Yeah.
Now the offensive line, we'll see what that
Need
looks
some help.
like. But
And the thing is, when you're a successful team and a successful head coach, your coordinators are going to get poached.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And you just have to be prepared for that. So you can't
Just
go
keep-
into like a head coaching job and be like, oh, what if I lose this coordinator in a year? Because
Right.
it's going to happen.
Do you become the Lions when you lose Ben Johnson?
or
and that
the,
offense
or the
struggled.
Eagles when you lose Kellen Moore.
Yep. Those offenses both struggled really bad. But I would also argue that maybe the guys they brought in weren't the right fits.
Yeah, and you also had some personnel changes for both. I mean, I don't think it's a shock that the Lions and the Eagles both lose key members of their offensive line, and all of a sudden their offensive lines go from the two best offensive lines in football to mediocre at best.
Right. If not now, when? A special teams conversation next. 105.1 The Fan. Coming up here in about 15 minutes, we'll have some fun with Super Bowl stuff. What wasn't football that you enjoyed? A lot of stuff goes into the Super Bowl, whether it was your food, the halftime show, commercials. I got a funny Jalen Hurts tidbit. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Side note, Danny, before we get to special team stuff, did you notice that there were really not a whole lot of penalties in this game?
Oh, weird.
That was kind of nice. I mean, nothing controversial. I don't think I saw a pass interference flag. I think the first flag was thrown in the second half.
Was that the offsides call on the blitz?
I think no, because it wasn't called offsides.
No, there was one that Witherspoon got there was ruled back.
I think the first flag was blocking the back on a kick return.
There were 7 total penalties in the game.
That's pretty nice, man.
For what? 50 total yards?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I also didn't really see a whole lot of stuff that I was like, oh, come on.
No.
They
let the physicality be there all game.
But I also think the players did a good job of having physicality without going over the line.
Pushing it all away.
Yeah, yeah. They were definitely tough on Stephon Diggs. I noticed that.
Well, I think you can do that when you're beating the crap out of a team.
Yeah, probably.
If the game's closer.
But no roughing the passers.
Despite how many times Drake May got hit.
I mean, I think I saw a holding call on Seattle's O-line once.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty wild.
And we had, what?
Maybe the Patriots...
75 pass attempts, and there wasn't a single holding call, but one.
Maybe the Patriots should have tried to hold a little more. They would have seen something working, maybe.
Drake May wouldn't have died, maybe.
Well, I mean, maybe that's a real thing. Like, even if you get a couple holding penalties, at least the game slows down for you a moment instead of just all the time. I ask you this question, Danny, that there was a real opportunity for a special teams player to win an MVP in this game.
Yeah, 2 of them for the same team.
And if not now, will it ever happen? I don't think it will ever happen.
No, and not
I think you would have to be Myers and kick 4 field goals and throw a touchdown on a fake.
I mean, I guess if you can say a special teams player has won it as a return man.
But I'm talking like kicker punter.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like you said, if it didn't happen this year, the bar is really high. Because, I mean, look, Myers, here's the thing. If Myers had hit like 4 50-plus yard field goals instead of every single one of them being under 41, you could probably have a stronger argument.
He bangs a couple 60-plus.
Let's say he hits, 3 51-plus yard field goals. You could probably start making the conversation very heavy. But that was about as, like, Pat McAfee had to sit down with a pillow in his lap. Him and Kirk Ferentz had to be sitting there going, this is glorious. Watching Dickinson just be flawless as a punter.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff that go into special teams. There are 2 things from this game that I would sit people down and say, if you want to understand how something works, watch this. It's some Kenneth Walker hiding behind the line and waiting for his gap, being patient, because I thought that was brilliant by him. And number 2 is Michael Dixon putting that ball where it needed to be. That's another, like, there were a lot of reasons why the Patriots were not very good in this game.
Starting in their own end over and over and over again was tantamount for that.
That, like, when you are trying to build something, like, let's say you get a first down and you're like, okay, here's some momentum, but you are at the 30 and you've got a first down, like, that just absolutely brutal, because then the flip side is you are now punting it and the other team is getting it on their 30 and they haven't even snapped the ball yet. So if you want to understand why special teams is as important as it is, and I know most of you listeners out there, I'm not trying to patronize or mansplain or anything like that, but if you have a friend that doesn't really understand the game very well, like, that's the moment to say, this is how important special teams can be.
There's a reason why Seattle struggled to score early on, too. Behringer was pinning Seattle dumb deep over and over and over. Like, I mean, what was it? Was there 3 or 4 drives that they started inside their own 15-yard line? All because they got pinned deep off a punt? That's tough, man.
It's real difficult. It's really, really difficult. But you, to your point right there with New England's game as well, everyone, the catchy pick was Rashid Shaheed, and they outside of one where he looked like he might have had a shot to break one open, non-factor.
Well, I mean, him and Marcus Jones. I mean, those are both guys that everybody looked at as like those are elite return men who, you know, at any given point in time can improve their team's field position or flip it for a score.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just didn't get that. You didn't get that in the kickoff game or the return game on the kickoffs, and you didn't get it in the return game on punts.
On a side note, in relationship to that, did you ever, another trendy kind of situation going into this game that didn't come to fruition? No trick plays.
No trick plays, no, third quarterback, the over-under line on 2.5 guys to throw a pass. We didn't even get any, like, flea flickers. We got nothing. But I also think, who are your head coaches?
Well, Mike Vrabel's part of a pretty famous trick play in a Super Bowl.
I know, but I mean, like,
I'd take it a step further too, because I agree with you
Mm-hmm.
that these coaches, to me, are not mess around guys.
No.
My question is when. Okay, maybe the fourth down
yeah.
that New England had when you're down 9, or is it 12? I can't remember.
Or maybe just throw it in there just because nothing else is working, but then
try something.
Then the desperation comes on if it turns into a turnover. But
Because
you know
there
what I mean?
weren't really turnovers yet.
No.
Like, for as bad as Drake May was, he got out of the first half clean.
Mm-hmm.
Things started to finally,
Yeah.
mount up, and he was unable to sustain it. But yeah, exactly. Doing trick plays for the sake of doing trick plays is not a good thing. And if you're desperate,
unless you're Ben Johnson,
and if you're desperate to make something happen, I think those trick plays become scarier for you,
because then it becomes a lack of trust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, I think when you look at the style of those two teams, those aren't teams that you think about that, but also personnel wise, who are the guys to make those plays? It's Shaheed for Seattle, but it's in a different manner. You have to have the right kind of coach. You have to have the right kind of coordinator. You have to have the right kind of personnel, and you have to have the right timing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, see, and that's it with the timing. Is I feel like it either comes
when?
early in the game, it either comes early in the game, or later on when you're either up big or perhaps down big.
Yeah, early in the game when you have room to lose. If you can run a flea flicker or a wide receiver, you pitch it to somebody and they throw it.
Yeah.
You can run that in the first quarter when it's 3-0, 7-0, 7-3, 10-7, because if the failure happens, you're not sinking yourself. But if it's 15-0,
yeah,
and you run a flea flicker and you throw a pick, you're done.
Well, but let's say it's like you said there. Let's say it's 17-7 heading into the fourth quarter, and you've got the ball. You run a trick play, right? Because why the hell not?
Right.
But if you're down, also, and you're down 17-7 early in the fourth quarter, you run a trick play, because also, why the hell not?
Yeah, I think it's just it's kind of, where is your mindset? What kind of risk taker are you?
Yeah, and again,
also that game was over.
It was. This is.
Do you want to look stupid
and have it pile up on you? No.
Right.
But
you got to look like you're trying.
I mean, I think they did. I just keep coming back to this singular point. The Seahawks were just better.
They were.
And it was just people trying to convince themselves going into that. I don't think it's necessarily confirmation bias. We watched both these teams in the playoffs. Seattle is the first team in the Super Bowl era to go through the playoffs without a turnover.
It's pretty fascinating, especially when we're talking about Sam Darnold, the full Sam Darnold experience. No turnovers from him, no turnovers from the team. I'm with you on that. I don't want to call out my local brethren or the national brethren too much, but I never understood if it was people actually believed this game was going to be close.
I think people were trying to talk themselves
into it.
themselves
into it.
No, I tried to talk myself into it. Like that was my whole thing last week, is I thought it was going to be like a 4-point game, and I couldn't understand why everybody was like, oh, it's a foregone conclusion. Seattle's going to whoop their ass.
I run into a lot of people in my life that I see consistently that aren't sports fans. Like my coffee shop that I go to in Vancouver. They know I do this. They know I work in sports, but they're not really sports people. They're like, oh, I picked up coffee yesterday morning. They were like, so what's going on? Like, can you give us the deets? And I go, look, I'm not a fan of either team. I think the Seahawks win comfortably. It might not be a pretty game, but I think they win comfortably.
I was talking to a bunch of the Blazers players and a couple of the Grizz guys Saturday night.
Because they all watch. They're all watching.
Yeah. And I was asking them, like, what did you think kind of deal? And most of them flipped it back on me like, what do you think? Do you think it's worth taking the points? And I was like,
oh, they want gambling advice.
Then we were joking back and forth, And I go, honestly, man, and I said it on Friday, You could give me 7, and I'd still comfortably take Seattle.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
you could have pushed it to 10 almost for me.
There wasn't a time where I ever wavered or waffled and thought that the Patriots really had any chance. The only thing I even considered in this game was in the fourth quarter. I was like, maybe they wouldn't cover a double-digit spread. Like, that was the closest in my head it ever got. It was never a close game.
Yeah, and that's where I'm different. All week last week, I was like, this is probably a field goal 4-point game, and that's what I called.
All right, when we come back, let's have a conversation. What were your favorite moments, not football, over Super Bowl Sunday? You can get those in, you listeners as well, 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTube chat. And let's have that conversation. What'd you like? Commercials, pregame, halftime show, the whole shebang. We'll get to that next. But first, the kahuna with sports.
You mind if I have some of your tasty beverage to wash this down?
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, the Trailblazers back on the court after snapping their 6-game skid with back-to-back wins over the Grizzlies. Scoot Henderson, a participant in Friday night's game, although he sat out Saturday after making his season debut. On Friday, he scored 11 points, 21 minutes. The Blazers now, they host the 76ers tonight. Shaden Sharp out with a calf injury. Denny Avdia, Bob Williams III, they are both questionable. Scoot Henderson is probable. 7 o'clock tip on KUNP, Xfinity Channel 302 and 1016. The Blazers are 3.5-point underdogs. Got a doubleheader on Peacock this evening. The Giannis-less Bucks are 10.5-point dogs at Paolo Banchero and the Magic. That's a 4:30 tip. Then at 7 o'clock, the Thunder without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander still as they visit LeBron and the Lakers. No Luka Doncic either. The Thunder are 6.5-point favorites. Matt Zenitz of CBS Sports reporting the Chargers hiring former Jets and Dolphins head coach Adam Gase as a passing game coordinator. Gase has been out of the NFL for 5 seasons now. More sports scores and stories in 30 minutes. I'm Jeff Rust from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt and missing work. Insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks football, the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
Oh, good.
I got a bunch right here, dude.
I've got to be careful, man. I'm eating too much Thai food and going for morning walks. I played with fire a couple times the last couple weeks.
I didn't need that. I
saying.
didn't need that.
Where do we go from here? Order less spicy food.
Oh, dude. Oh,
Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law.
I found a banger Thai spot in Tualatin, right across the street from the PF. Buddy, when they give you Thai spicy, they give you the Thai spicy.
Oh, yeah. You got to be careful at joints like that.
I was like, oh, they got the heat.
I found out the hard way about Indian food in high school about asking for spicy food, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna make this little white kid cry."
It didn't. It did not have the general observations of a spot that I needed to be concerned with, in the sense of like its spice level.
Oh, man, any place can get those spices. It's not like they're super expensive.
Look, I'm gonna stereotype here. When I walk up to the counter and I see 3 white dudes, I'm gonna go,
Yeah, I'll take spicy.
you know.
Meanwhile, the cook in the back is like an 85-year-old
Well,
dude from the Philippines.
Turns out his wife is the cook.
Yeah.
And she is as Thai as it gets, brother. And I was like, I got home and I went, oh, buddy.
Reminds me too. There was a place on Highway 101 in Seaside, which is no longer there, and it was a Thai food joint. But they had the best name for a Thai food joint you could ever come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Tie me up.
Not bad.
Now there was a Tie the Knot. Or there is a Tie the Knot in Newburgh. Also a solid spot.
There's also Pho
King.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
in
great.
Beaverton.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, I know that spot.
Great job on the space there.
Thank you.
Got to do it. Got to
you.
do it.
Thank you.
Need that
Professional
pregnant
over here.
pause.
Guys, I'll read some texts here, 503-864-6326. Also on the YouTubes. Guys, what favorite moments, non-football, from the weekend?
Relax your tight end.
It's pretty good.
Relax your tight end made me like,
For prostate cancer.
yeah, made me outright chuckle.
I am mad that Gronk was in a Bucks jersey and Tony Gonzalez was in a Falcons jersey, but
Jerseys are retired in.
I'll get over that. It was very good.
But the relax your tight end was that got an audible chuckle out of me.
There's a great one from Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's girlfriend. She was wearing a T-shirt from the massage parlor that Bob Kraft got a tug from.
Yeah.
Which is that is some extra level trolling.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things was right before Green Day performed.
I need a T-shirt that says I got this T-shirt at the Rub and Tug. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, like just
There was a moment before Green Day, before they performed, where they were bringing out of that this like containment cargo trailer thing. Former NFL or former Super Bowl winning players. I don't know if they were all MVPs. They might have been. I didn't catch that part. But out comes Steve Young. Out comes Tom Brady.
is this the Letterman jacket crew?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So you had Young, Brady,
The Mannings were there.
Yeah.
Both Mannings were there.
Jalen Hurts.
But that's my favorite. Jalen Hurts walks out of that thing, and he is so pissed to be there right now.
Mm-hmm.
All these other dudes, Emmitt Smith comes out, and he's like, hey.
Oh, retired first ballot Hall of
Lynn
Famers.
Swan is like, yeah. Even Tom's.
I
is
think
doing
Ronnie
the
Lott
thing.
was out there.
Both Mannings are doing their awkward Manning thing, you know. Jalen Hurts walks out, and he's like, I hate being here right now. I thought that was hilarious.
I'm an active player. Why am I here?
I want to be in this game, not standing here with you idiots.
I got to say, are we all in agreement here? Commercials sucked.
I'm not a commercial watcher, so.
But I mean, in general, like there were just no bangers.
I didn't pay much attention to
But
them
that's
this
the
year.
point.
Yeah.
Is that because even if you don't pay attention, it'll be in the cultural zeitgeist, and you can't avoid it.
Right.
They sucked. Nothing was good.
yeah,
I didn't get any Clydesdales where I cried. Nothing.
I thought one of the interesting ones was there was the 30th anniversary of Pokemon commercial, and so there was like a bunch of cameos in it.
A bunch of guys that were,
Don't
I'm with him, but
Talking about
I'm
commercials.
I'm just saying I'm not a I don't
care about prostate cancer.
I don't
wow.
care.
Actually,
I need that. I need that drop.
I don't
Actually,
care
I
about
do.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting, like in the Pokemon commercial, Yamal,
Yeah.
the young Spanish kid, was in it.
Was he speaking Japanese? I was in the kitchen cooking.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't quite hear.
I caught a bunch of people speaking Japanese over the top of it, and I was like, but I couldn't catch it because they had a bunch of international people on it. I couldn't tell if they because I was again, loud in kitchen. I couldn't tell if everybody was speaking in Japanese or if there was a bunch of people speaking in other languages. I was like, did they have these guys do all these lines in Japanese? It's kind of dope.
I looked at everybody at my party and I say, you see the kid in the white shirt that they flashed to a couple times? They were like, yeah. I go, what if I told you
He was
outside
worth
of
more.
America, he is like the third most famous athlete in the world?
Yeah.
They were like, really? I was like, he plays soccer in Spain.
Yeah.
Someone was like, oh, the next Ronaldo? And I was like, I don't care. More of like a messy footwork type
Yeah,
guy.
but yeah, that it's always funny. Like when the Super Bowl commercial comes around, you get the Leo Messi appearance, and people are like, "Who?
Who dat?
Who's this? Who's this
I
little
mean,
man?"
I would recognize.
Oh, I know,
Lionel
but
Messi.
general sports fan does not.
Does not.
That dude can legitimately. There's an article that came out when he went to Inter Miami. He goes grocery shopping, like normally. He's like, it's great. Now in Miami, obviously, there's a little bit more of a.
Yes,
of
he
a
just looks like everybody else in Miami.
but not just that. Like more people down there will recognize him, but it's not this overwhelming thing anymore. And he's like, it's pretty dope.
Oh, we're a little short there, so we'll use closing argument and talk a little halftime show. We'll do that, and I'll read some of your texts on the other end. Closing arguments is next. 105.1 The Fan.
The firm of Harris and Meringue is wrapping up for the day,
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
which means it's time for the closing arguments. Brought to you by Leskin Law. One-day divorce mediation. Peace treaties, not war plans. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information.
You want answers? I want the truth.
On the Fan Sports Network.
You can't handle the truth.
105.1 and 1080, The Fan.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Coming up on tomorrow's program, we'll chat a little bit of Blazers, obviously, as they'll take on the Sixers tonight at the Moda Center. It's a free consultation Tuesday as well. There might be some leftover NFL nuggies. We got a lot of stuff. I do want to talk Duke, North Carolina tomorrow because college basketball over the weekend was a banger.
And we'll definitely
Michigan State, Illinois was a great game,
Yep.
too.
We'll definitely have to get into the Blazers stuff, and I'm not talking the on-court stuff. It is the Moda Center
the Bill
political.
Oram.
It's not just it's not just Bill. It's it's out there, and there's a lot. We'll to be honest, we'll probably have to spend 2 segments on it
Sure,
because
sure.
we'll get that, and we'll talk about expansion too.
Maybe we'll lead off with that tomorrow. That sounds fun.
For everybody asking, yes, we see it. I legitimately have texts out to political members in Salem, and I'm trying to get more information and possibly have a guest.
A lot of people texting in, commenting on the YouTube chats. Commercials suck. All that kind of stuff. I agree. I don't really watch for commercials anymore, so it's a little outside of my league. Halftime show. I would like to state for the record that Lady Gaga is an absolute gem of a human being, and I love every time I see her. Did not have her on my bingo card to see her yesterday.
Nope.
And I thought she was absolutely phenomenal. As this texter says, that was not Ricky Martin. I believe in clones now. Not only did I love Ricky, he looks fantastic.
HGH is a hell of a drug.
He is a gorgeous human being. Dare I say he looks better now than he ever did.
Which is weird because that doesn't happen at 55 years old.
No kidding. I thought Bad Bunny, Benito
I'm
himself.
waiting. I'm almost there.
I thought Benito was fantastic. I really enjoyed that show. My Peacock, my NBC feed when I was watching was kind of glitching a couple times, which pissed me off a little bit. But when Bad Bunny started climbing that telephone pole, first thing in my mind, and the free fall into the crowd, my first thing in my brain was like, the insurance for this must be insane.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I love the guests.
Halftime show presented by Geico.
I also had this moment where I felt terrible when he comes out of when Bad Bunny came out of the house. I'm looking at these people on the sides, and I was like, that guy looks like Pedro Pascal. Nah, dude, you're just profiling. Can't do that. It was Pedro Pascal. So I felt a little better about that. But I love the little, celebrity cameos. Jessica Alba, Ronald Acuna Jr., Cardi B, all those, celebrities that were there at the house party. And I thought that was fun.
It was entirely fun. People are thinking I'm poo-pooing this. I'm not. I thought it was a fun halftime show.
I thought it was really fun.
I've seen some people like, that's the best halftime show I've ever seen. I'm like, it was fine. It was fun. It was perfectly good.
I'm not trying to say it was the best one ever, but
Yeah,
I
enjoyed it. 100%.
greatly.
I enjoyed it. It was good. It was fun. Look, the thing about Bad Bunny that I love is that, and you saw it when he left the field, he was having a blast.
Oh, having a blast.
Did you see the cop kind of being a jerk when he left the field? I'm
Totally.
like, get it. It's like the Texas A&M cop. It's like,
Get out of here.
Beat feet, dog. I want you out of here. Like, he's having the time of his life. He's down there with friends and family. He just did a show in front of 150 million people. He's just completely gassed up right now. Get out of the way.
I also think it's hard to compare halftime shows to other ones. They all just have such different themes.
It's not hard to go. It's not hard to go. That's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Well,
it was really good. It's not one of the best shows.
Was it Prince playing Purple Rain in the rain?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No, was it as talked about as Left Shark with Katy Perry?
No.
That was the
Or
most
Nipplegate?
talked about.
No.
Or Nipplegate, yeah.
It was like if you're going, you're probably giving it a B to B plus. It was really good. Nothing wrong with it.
Oh,
I
I'm
would
in
go-
A territory.
I would go higher than that.
Yeah,
I would
I'm-
go higher than B to B plus.
As far as some of my favorites, I will put it up there with Bruno, Gaga,
I greatly
Kendrick.
enjoyed it.
Kendrick, and
Yeah.
I mean, I love the Dre crew, but that's because I'm old. But my favorite shows are probably Gaga, Bruno, Bunny. Kendrick was pretty fun last year.
Kendrick was awesome.
Kendrick was great last year.
When-
I liked it. There was a theme.
Yeah.
And it like told a story.
Yeah.
And I was kind of into that. Started like in the field.
Even though we didn't know most of the words that he said, it still told a
Dude,
story.
I watched the Green Day pregame show. I watched that
I
performance.
had zero interest.
I know most of the words to that, and I could not hear Billy Joe.
Yeah.
So I don't care what language
I just
he's
think it's
speaking.
I just think it's funny how all the people were surprised about Green Day and being like, "What? I didn't realize they were like this."
But
Really?
people say that to me about Dave Matthews. You should stop about politics. I'm like, have you listened to these songs? But I liked the concept of it. Like, started in a field, and then it went to a house, and then it went to a party. Then it was a wedding, which was
An
a
actual wedding?
An actual wedding. Which
That
was
part of it
really
was
cool.
dope.
And then the climbing the telephone pole and stuff like. I don't know. It was just different and kind of outside the box. And I think.
and you're weird, so you loved it.
Yeah, of course I did. It made me smile.
I loved it.
And it
I
made me
did.
walk away feeling good.
I enjoyed it greatly.
Yeah. I wonder who'll do it next year.
When it was over, I was like, that was fun.
I'll tell you what, next year when it's Sabrina Carpenter, I promise you Bad Bunnies will be better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, again, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed it. But when it was over, I wasn't sitting there going, oh, my God. Like, when Kendrick got done, I was like, whoo, buddy.
Well, I got my horn section. Did you see I got my horn section?
Well, I
I
mean,
wanted that.
section, there you go.
I knew that was going to happen.
I do have to say though, I did enjoy it. Sorry to pivot here. This morning when I got on the old Twitters and saw some memes and such about the alternate halftime show, and about how poorly that went for a certain entertainer.
Yeah, it sounds like you didn't have a good day.
who was caught lip syncing terribly.
Dude, you can't lip sync.
And I saw the meme today, and it said it was so bad that they're calling him Hillbilly Vanilli.
Yeah. And look, where I want to give Bad Bunny a ton of credit, performing that live, he's got that mic in his mouth, and you can tell he's winded the whole time, and he just kept like the adrenaline hit, man. He just kept going, and he put on a heck of a show, man. Like the performance angle of it, I was 100% in on, 100% in on.
Like I said, I like stories. I'm also a booty shaker, so like Latin themed music is gonna get my booty going. Like I got 6 records at home of like Sergio Mendes. You know what I mean? Like
Ooh, very
I'm just
nice.
like into it.
There you go.
know?
Little Sergio Mendes.
Yeah. If Harry Belafontaine was the halftime performer, oh my God.
That would be Harry Belafonte.
Sure, whatever.
There we go.
If he's the Super Bowl performer, dude, I am stoked.
Perhaps maybe now this guy's name is not terribly Hispanic, but Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass.
Dude, I have Herb Alpert's whipped cream on vinyl, cassette, reel, and 8-track.
Yeah.
That record is so awesome.
Herb Alpert, baby.
Yeah, so shout out to that. A fun day. I hope everybody had a great Super Bowl. We'll see what
Football's dead and gone. Basketball reigns supreme. Woo!
we'll see if we got any leftover nuggets, and we'll put football to bed for a little bit. Hope everybody had a great weekend and a great Super Bowl. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit leskinlaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. For Danny Morang, that's Jeff Rust. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.